Florida loves Sean Hannity.
There is something radically, dramatically wrong with the president. The lies are just breathtaking. Flipping and flopping, mumbling and bumbling and stumbling incoherence. I mean, there's something wrong with him.
Sean Hannity is live from 3 until 5 this afternoon on Southwest Florida's 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
Sales desk, Marty speaking.
Marty.
What?
They've all gone mad.
Who?
Victory Lane Chevrolet.
Where?
On the corner of Fowler and Winkler.
How?
During Moonlight Madness, Victory Lane's paying overbooked value for trades, giving crazy discounts on new Chevys, and they don't scare customers away with insane high-pressure sales tactics.
Why? Why would they do that?
Because, Marty, you too. It's Moonlight Madness at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Get overbooked value for your trade and save thousands on new Chevys. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on select new Chevys. And current Costco members receive an additional $1,000 off MSRP on most new Chevys in stock. And your credit pass can't haunt you anymore with our goal 100% credit approval. Don't miss Moonlight Madness at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% equals $13.89 per thousand finance with approved credit on select models. All rebates to dealer cannot combine offers. Costco members must provide proof of membership. Expires 10/31/21.
Grandpa Joe doesn't want voter ID, but Uncle Sam says we have to do a station ID. 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right, all along.
Increase the debt.
He went to Pennsylvania, again insisting his massive social spending plan will cost nothing because it'll be funded by tax increases, though exactly which ones are still being worked out as the price tag drops. Fox's Jared Halpern.
A spending bill expanding education, healthcare, and climate funding will be slimmed down from an initial $3.5 trillion offer, likely closer to $2 trillion. But House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pushed back on reports major initiatives like tuition-free community college will be eliminated.
When I saw it on TV, I thought I'd never seen that. I don't know where that stuff even came from.
All Republicans oppose the spending and tax increases, but may not be able to block them as the president's overall approval rating drops to 46% in a new Fox poll.
The biggest loss in support coming from suburban voters, then Democrats, then women. 39% approve of his handling of the economy, with Democrats' approval on that issue dropping 9 points over just last month. When asked what the biggest concern is, 87% said inflation.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Former President Trump infamously kicked off Twitter and Facebook after the January Capitol attack, is starting his own company that'll include a new social media site he's calling Truth Social. More vaccinated Americans may soon get another shot in the fight against COVID.
Moderna and Johnson & Johnson got the authorization from the FDA for its booster shots. The J&J dose is approved for age 18 and up as early as 2 months after the initial dose.
Fox's Gernal Scott. For Moderna, it would be for people 65 and up and those at higher risks for COVID. The CDC still has to approve the boosters. A discovery in the search for Brian Laundrie, a person of interest in his fiancée Gabby Petito's death.
The FBI is confirming that human remains were found right here in this park, and they were found near personal items that belong to Brian Laundrie.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Northport, Florida. America's listening to Fox News.
Even the left speaker sounds right when you're listening to 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right, all along.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Thursday morning. Starting off with a little bit of construction heading out through downtown Punta Gorda along US 17. We have a left lane blocked eastbound heading through Nesbitt Street. Aside from that, it should be a very clear drive right now along 41 in that area. 75 not seeing any issues all across Charlotte, Lee, and Collier counties. The area bridges from the Cape into Fort Myers taking an easy 2 to 3 minutes in each direction. Downtown 41 bridges also very similar conditions. And you ride out on Alligator Alley and the East Trail all nice and clear. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea, Wink News. Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. Today, a day of transition from the drier weather pattern that we've had to what's eventually going to be more of a humid and unsettled weather pattern as we head into the remainder of the week and into the upcoming weekend. A high of 90 degrees for today as we start to feel that humidity increase a tad. A few showers will be possible late this afternoon and into this evening, mainly for Collier County and those areas south of the Caloosahatchee River. We keep it quieter as we head into tonight, certainly for your Friday morning with a low near 71 degrees waking up. 90 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning for the afternoon. Saturday featuring more isolated storms. Sunday a bit wetter with scattered thunderstorms back in the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Back pain, neck pain, we hear so much about it every day, but most people never understand what causes it. Very often, it is more than just sore muscles. Many times, it is caused by disc and nerve compression in the spine. This is very often not addressed. The only way to get pressure off the discs in the spine is to decompress the discs. Here at Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, non-surgical spinal decompression is a specially designed, computerized table to provide gentle, precise pulling to draw pressure off the discs and release the nerves. This process draws blood back into the discs, allowing them to heal. Completely safe and comfortable for any age. No hanging upside down. Patients with stenosis, sciatica, bulging discs, neuropathy, scoliosis all find great, long-lasting relief with decompression. Call my Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation. Johnson Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, managing partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
Southwest Florida, are you getting the most out of your Medicare benefits? Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage Plan, you get more for your Medicare dollar, including benefits like vision, hearing, dental care, and much more. Take advantage. Call United Healthcare today at 1-855-608-8763. That's 1-855-608-8763. Benefits, features, or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
This is a message for all men. Look, my family doctor said my ED was incurable. There was nothing anyone could do but perform surgery. My wife was supportive. She told me it wasn't important and there were other things we could do, but deep down, I knew she was disappointed. I felt less of a man, less of a husband. I was embarrassed. I heard the ads for the Fort Myers Men's Clinic, and I thought to myself, how can the doctors at that clinic claim to resolve my erectile dysfunction in 15 minutes or less? So I called, made an appointment, my wife went with me, and let me say, my doctor was wrong. We have regained our intimacy. They can help. No matter your age or your condition, $99 for a doctor consultation and a test dose of the medication can help. Call now, 239-317-7777, 317-7777, 317-7777, or FortMyersMen'sClinic.com. And be sure to ask about the incredible Pulse ED, known to increase stamina, sensitivity, and even size.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. Thank you for watching and subscribing to the podcast at your favorite podcast location. There's a link there at the website if you want to click on that. You could do it right now. So is this Trump making his move? Partially. As the former president of the United States releases new details about a social media platform that he's launching very soon. It's going to be called Truth Social, that launches in the spring of 2022. It's one of those things where if you're going to keep me off social media, then I'll just build my own. And that is going to be part of what is the future here in this country. There's no doubt about it, that if you're trying to figure out how in the world we're going to get past a lot of the things that we have going on in this country, knowing that the White House, Congress, the media, Hollywood, music. All of this is in the hands of liberals, and the Democrats have their hands all over this. Then how do you get a message out? How do you make change? Well, certainly you make change right away locally. Everything is local, local, local. A lot of local stories we need to talk about, not just Southwest Florida, but in the state. And then ultimately you make a parallel economy. That's the way you do this. There are people who have taken the lead on a lot of different issues. Our friend Dan Bongino, you know how he does things. It's taking the lead. It's about stepping into the space and saying, you know what? If there's an issue when it comes to what certain social media platforms will allow you to see, we'll have Rumble come along. If there is an issue with maybe the idea that there's a web server that might shut you down if you start a business and they decide, like an Amazon web host server, that they're going to take it down, well, you open up your own. These parallel economies are the things that are going to move us forward. And when it comes to social media, that's the same thing, where there are plenty of social media platforms, but everybody's been waiting for the one that the former president is going to be on full-time as he battles against the censorship from the others like Twitter. And there it is. So I wonder if you're going to jump on board right away. And he says, I created Truth Social and TMTG. That is, I forget what, it stands up for the tyranny of big tech. We live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, yet your favorite American president has been silenced. This is unacceptable. I'm so excited to send out my first truth on Truth Social very soon. Nice. Sending out a truth. Instead of a tweet, it's a truth. So there you go. Maybe the move. I don't know. And I wonder how it's going to be perceived. Certainly, you know how it's going to go with the media, the mainstream, and what they're going to say, or what little they're going to say about it, or how they'll mock it in some way, shape, or form. But the idea of the parallel economy is the most important part of this. And being able to and spending the money and bold enough to step into the space and set something up, as people have. David Drucker is going to join us at 7:05. David Drucker is a senior correspondent for the Washington Examiner. And he's got a new book out called In Trump's Shadow. It's the battle for 2024 and the future of the GOP. And I'm curious to see what he thinks, because one of the things he is talking about is not only Trump and whether or not he's going to run, and his opinion on that. We'll talk about that coming up. But some of the other quote-unquote candidates that are in, and where they stand, and what he thinks is going to happen. So an interesting conversation coming up at 7:05. I'd like to get his take on everything that's happening politically, coming up. But some of the other things that are going on, and listen, this is where we know how you have to push back against what is going on with conversation, or lack of which, on social media. Is you got to step into the space and create your own. And many people are doing that. You've got to step into the space and say, when it comes to mandates, I am not going to do it. And we're going to talk a little bit about what you think about kids between the ages of 5 and 11 now, and this plan to vaccinate 28 million children, ages 5 to 11. Why? Why exactly are we doing it? Oh, it's for their own safety. And really? Is that what the science says? Because the science would dictate something else. But we're not allowed to follow the science. Unless, of course, it's Dr. Fauci, who, by the way, has his own story and own headlines to worry about right now. It appears that Dr. Fauci did lie to Senator Rand Paul. And the NIH has contradicted Fauci now, and it has admitted that there was gain-of-function funding, the research lab in Wuhan. Anybody going to get in trouble for this? Is there going to be any consequences? No. We still have to follow Dr. Fauci right off the cliff. And as the president would say, what would he say?
True international effort to pressure.
Why not? But we'll talk more about kids ages 5 to 11 getting vaccinated and whether they should or should not based on the science. But all of this to say that the Democrats are not going to give up on what they will do, not only to Donald Trump. Make no mistake about what's happening with the January 6th commission. And I want to play some audio on that coming up. But when you start to hear more about the January 6th commission, and you start to see what they did even yesterday, and how it's always, look, you know how things are in D.C., it's always a circus. But be mindful of the fact that Donald Trump is not the only person they want to go after. It's you. The idea of a January 6th commission is not to take down Trump. It's not to take down Steve Bannon. You're going to hear in just a second Liz Cheney, very stern in what she has to say in this January 6th commission. Well, of course, she wants to take down the former president, but also between Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and Democrats, that they want to flex their power, if you will, their muscle, to show you that, look, we know you, we know where you are, we've got our eye on you, and you can't get away with squat, or however you want to put it. Liz Cheney yesterday, I mean, you knew she was going to dump on Trump. Everybody was going to, we know that. And again, you've got to keep your focus on this. Just the same way as you've got to stay away from the money portion of what Democrats have been talking about, and even on Fox National, and they talk about the $3.5 trillion, but they're willing to go to 1.9, and they're going to move the numbers around. And we can do this at a lower price tag. Don't focus on the money in this Build Back Better plan, a debacle, or what did we decide we were going to do, Jake? The Build Back Better boondoggle. Is that what we're doing? We like the Build Back Better boondoggle? By the way, that's called an alliteration, just in case you're wondering. It's like Peter picked the piper. Peter picked a... Do you know how that goes? Peter picked a...
Sure don't.
You don't? Do you even know where I'm going with this?
Standing down by the seashore and seashells.
Yeah, right. She sells seashells by the seashore. Or Peter picked a peck of... He picked something. He picked pickles. And I don't know.
Might have been peppers.
Yeah, no, or peppers. It have been pickle or peppers. I don't know, but one or the other. The point is don't focus on the money. Focus on the fact that what they're trying to do is trying to get you to look at the money, but to push this Green New Deal, changing our election laws, all the things that we don't get to read in the fine print, fundamentally destroying the United States of America and making us France or whatever. Pick your socialist utopia. Because, in America, if we do socialism, we'll do it right. So here's Liz Cheney dumping on the former president of the United States at the January 6th commission yesterday.
Mr. Bannon's and Mr. Trump's privilege arguments do, however, appear to reveal one thing.
What?
They suggest that President Trump was personally involved in the planning and execution of January 6th. And this committee will get to the bottom of that.
They do? How? How, Liz Cheney? How do they? Well, they don't want to talk. So right there, if you don't want to talk, you're guilty. Really? Everybody knows what the commission is all about and why they're doing this. They all understand that this is just a show, that they want to not only go after the former president, but to go after you and flex their muscle, as it was Glenn Greenwald and his Substack who mentioned this just the other day, right? Didn't he talk about this? Yeah, the investigative journalist Glenn Greenwald, who was arguing that, look, the point of this whole thing with Pelosi putting this together in this commission, and go get him, is just power in place of the Constitution, in place of the moral and the legal beliefs that we all hold dear to the Constitution, which is the rule of law in this country. It's all to show that, no, we've got the power. And that's what this is. And who was it? Marjorie Taylor Greene was walking up a set of stairs, and there's a reporter that's following her around as she's trying to describe to this reporter the fact that Nancy Pelosi wants millions of dollars for a park that is like a pet project for her, that she's already has a slush fund set up, a taxpayer-funded slush fund for certain things in San Francisco. But the reporter's like...
What do you think Cheney's motivation is for saying those things about President Trump?
Oh, she's just jealous and she hates Trump.
Do you think she's going to run against
Who cares? Nobody cares about Liz Cheney. I mean, I think that's the biggest story. Nobody cares about Liz Cheney or their stupid committee. Honestly, it's a pathetic joke.
It's a pathetic... Nobody cares. And they really... And I think the funny part about the January 6th commission is what has been coming out more and more are the videos that everybody wants to see. A video that shows, and you probably... did you see any of the videos the other day, Jake? Did I show you some of the videos of the insurrection the January 6th insurrection? It's all right, yeah. Yeah, the January 6th insurrection, where not only were there certain doors that were opened up in the Capitol, where Capitol Police were waving people in as they were calmly walking into the Capitol, but it is amazing how insurrectionists seem to think that it's important for them in an insurrection to walk through the middle of the rotunda, staying in between the velvet ropes. See, this is what happens. It was a video of people walking into the Capitol, insurrectionists, and they were staying in between the ropes. They weren't like pushing the ropes down and tearing down statues and destroying the building and firing guns. And no, that's not what happened. They were orderly staying within the ropes, the rope line that walked through the middle of the rotunda. It was odd for an insurrection. I don't know how they do that. But anyway, that's what it is. It's all for show. They can't get this happening. I think it was even. Yeah, do we have this audio? Matt Gaetz and Senator Raskin were having quite the back and forth on this yesterday, where the Democrat laying all of these hyperbolic statements, these assumptions against Trump and Steve Bannon and making all of these different accusations, and then asking for Matt Gaetz to answer the question. And of course, in typical Democrat style, I'm not going to let you answer the question. I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to completely shut you down to make sure you don't get the chance to ask the question you're supposed to be asking, or the question that I'm asking.
He's got to come before the committee, and he has to plead it. Do you not agree with that?
Talking about Steve Bannon and Trump, right?
I think that... No, honestly, do you not agree with that?
Hold on, Mr. Raskin, I allowed you to speak, and I didn't interrupt you. I hope I'm given the same opportunity.
Just give me the honest answer.
The honest answer is that the McGahn litigation that you and I both followed closely as members of the Judiciary Committee actually is the path forward. McGahn didn't have to show up to assert that he was waiting for legal...
The president asserted executive privilege on his behalf.
Now you're the one giving challenges to the stenographer. So,
no, I'm telling you, wait a second. I'm going to elaborate on your answer
No,
here.
but I haven't even given my full answer yet.
That's not how it works in the Rules Committee, Mr. Gaetz. Just follow this then.
Well, wait
the president.
Do I get to respond to these?
Mr. Gaetz, I'm going to give you the chance to respond.
Well,
respond to this.
It sounds like
President Trump asserted executive privilege. President Trump asserted executive privilege for McGahn. President Biden has not asserted.
I believe there is.
Has not asserted executive privilege.
President Trump has initiated litigation. Look, the reason you all waited on McGahn is because the Russia hoax wasn't going well for you. And the reason you're not waiting now is because you have no other legislation or other solutions for the country.
All right,
that's why
Mr. Jordan, let me switch
you
to you.
had the McGahn playbook, but you've ditched it because you guys need January 6th so bad.
And that was after 4 minutes of asking questions and throwing out assumptions and hyperbolic statements at Matt Gaetz and not allowing him to answer the question. And then finally, Gaetz is just like, listen, you know what this is. You're so desperate for this to work because you've got nothing. A Trump-Russia collusion hoax that is falling apart at the seams. John Durham getting closer and closer to even more information coming out about the origins and how deceitful certain bureaucracies in the federal government are and were, and many questions that will be answered, and he's right. But look, the one takeaway that I wanted to mention before we go to break, Jake, and we can do that right now, and it's this. Trump releases this new detail on the social media platform. We've got to have a parallel economy. We have to have other places that we can go that are going to be safe from the scorn of the progressive American Marxist, communist, socialists that are the Democrat Party right now. The ones that are controlling a lot of the different things in our lives. And you can see how that control works. All right, I just paid $4 for a gallon of gas today, this morning coming in. $4 here in Southwest Florida. You've got people that are desperate to keep Trump out, Trump away from 2024, and in any conversation whatsoever, and his voice to be shut down. And people are not going to have that. And that when it comes to January 6th, to Matt Gaetz' point, they're desperate. And they've got to go and figure out a way to make everybody focus on something else. Like January 6th and Trump is bad and all these things. But they're not. Because like you are, we are all being affected by the policies of this administration to the point where we can't even afford a gallon of gas or a gallon of milk. or a package of bacon, which is killing me. $8 for something that once was like $4, maybe. I know. I know. It's upsetting you too.
No, it was 10. Last night when it was 10.
No, it wasn't.
I swear. 9 and some change.
You look really, really sad today. Do you want me to go buy you some bacon today?
I was going to buy some last night, but, I'm not going to spend $10 on...
I'll buy you some bacon today. Let's get you cheered up before the weekend, okay? Stay break 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Island Air. High-quality AC repair and installation. Online at islandairfl.com. Online at islandairefl.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
A New York woman sues Kellogg's, claiming its strawberry Pop-Tarts don't have enough berries. TMZ reports the class action suit seeks better labeling and more than $5 million in damages. PayPal's reportedly in talks to buy Pinterest. The deal would allow the payments giant to ramp up customer shopping experiences. A UN-backed study suggests the world needs to cut coal, oil, and gas production by more than half over the coming decade to maintain a chance of keeping global warming from reaching dangerous levels. Earnings continue to stoke stocks, with the S&P 500 and Dow closing just shy of record highs. But Bitcoin reaches a record of nearly $67,000 per coin. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army. 800 lawyers alone. Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Florida's climate allows us to spend a lot of time out of doors. But if you're working in the yard, be sure to stay safe. When trimming trees or vegetation, always carefully look first for power lines. You can be seriously injured or killed if you or anything you are touching comes in contact with a power line. Remember, always stay at least 10 feet away from neighborhood power lines and 30 feet away from larger power lines. A safety first reminder from Florida Power and Light and this station.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. AC by Florida Comfort Systems helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems to hear more about how we can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call us today or visit us online at acbyfcs.com. License number CAC 057065.
Greetings from Health Plan Network. First, a sincere thank you to the folks at WFSX and their loyal listeners. The response to our recent individual health insurance ads have been phenomenal. Second, a short history lesson. When the federal government made their last attempt at socialized medicine or Obamacare, most insurance companies refused to participate, leaving millions with no choice but the high premiums and deductibles on the marketplace. On the other hand, our clients were able to keep their non-cancelable coverage and have enjoyed low premiums and great coverage for the last 7 years. The new administration has promised another run at their stated goal of nationalized health insurance. If you're on Obamacare, uninsured, or on COBRA, now is the time to act. Protect yourself and family with non-cancelable coverage guaranteed to age 65 now. Call me at 239-268-6712 or visit our website at healthplannetwork.net. That's 239-268-6712 or healthplannetwork.net. We can help.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Who will help you get there? You've spent years working, taking care of your kids, saving money, and now you're nearing retirement. Or maybe you're already retired. Now it's your turn. You get to decide where to go next. Will your retirement include travel? Do you have a guide to help you get there? Bob Grace has helped hundreds of families create their retirement roadmap. Don't let financial limitations take you off course in retirement. Bob wants you to have the retirement you've worked so hard for. Come in and meet with Bob and his team. They'll help you create a retirement roadmap that's tailored to your lifestyle and long-term financial goals. Call today at 239-249-8888 and schedule a visit. 239-249-8888 or visit retirewithgrace.com. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Stop. Don't purchase any diamonds, jewelry, or engagement rings until you come to Duncan's Diamonds. We are not your typical jewelry store. Here are a few reasons. Family owned. Stuart Duncan and his family have been involved in the wholesale diamond business for nearly a century. No middleman. We are direct diamond importers, offering prices 30 to 40% lower than the rest, passing all those savings to you. No pressure. We are not paid on commission. We are here to help you even if you do not purchase from us and to make sure you are happy. The largest selection of diamonds and jewelry, access to millions of jewelry styles, and that is up to 30 times what you find in an ordinary jewelry store. Free services, like clean and check whether you purchased from us or not. Don't take our word from a radio ad. Visit Duncan's Diamonds. We will prove we will not be undersold anywhere, anytime, by anybody. Duncan's Diamonds.
US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Naples at Mercado.
Keeping it right here. We're 92.5 Fox News. And we've been right all along. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Senate Democrats will have to change the rules or change some minds to pass voting rights legislation. It's been blocked again by a Republican filibuster.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he will not stop pursuing legislation that sets federal minimums on early voting and sets redistricting guidelines. Republican leader Mitch McConnell calls it a takeover of state-run elections. Unless several Democrats shift positions on changes to the filibuster, any voting legislation is unlikely to advance.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Former President Trump announces a new media company, including a social media platform. It's supposed to launch early next year.
The former president said he's launching Trump Media and Technology Group and its Truth Social app to rival big tech companies. The company's also expected to create a video-on-demand service that's going to feature news and entertainment programming.
Fox's Jill Nato. America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News Traffic.
Good morning. Still a very clear and quiet start to the morning drive. Starting to see some volume building along the Midpoint Bridge, heading eastbound out of Cape Coral toward Fort Myers, but the Cape Coral Bridge running up to speed in both directions with no major slowdowns. The Edison and Caloosahatchee also looking good if you're crossing from Fort Myers into North Fort Myers or vice versa. 75 and 41 still very quiet early on this morning. Just seeing a little bit more volume starting to build around the exit to MLK Jr. Boulevard toward Colonial and Daniels Parkway. Just south Fort Myers in general, definitely starting to pick up. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. Today, a day of transition from the drier weather pattern that we've had to what's eventually going to be more of a humid and unsettled weather pattern as we head into the remainder of the week and into the upcoming weekend. A high of 90 degrees for today as we start to feel that humidity increase a tad. A few showers will be possible late this afternoon and into this evening, mainly for Collier County and those areas south of the Caloosahatchee River. We keep it quieter as we head into tonight, certainly for your Friday morning with a low near 71 degrees waking up. 90 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning for the afternoon. Saturday featuring more isolated storms. Sunday a bit wetter with scattered thunderstorms back in the forecast. I'm Wink News with Authority Meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Whether you're commuting to the office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Conditioned Air is looking for the best of the best in HVAC to join our winning team. If you consider yourself an A player and love customer service, you should apply so we can get your career path started. We have several top-paying positions available now in Sarasota, Fort Myers, and Naples. Find out more about our new hire bonus and apply online at conditionedair.com. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. License number CAC 1819590.
Rock Solid wants you to be our customer. At Rock Solid Countertops and More, $9.99 gets it done. For a limited time only, get a full set of kitchen countertops from $9.99 installed. Rock Solid guarantees to beat any competitor's prices, including installation. So come see Hugo and his team in Naples. And now serving Port Charlotte at 4135 Tamiami Trail. Visit rocksolidnaples.com. Rock Solid, where $9.99 gets it done.
Attention Medicare recipients. My name is Todd Van Owen. I live, work, play, and volunteer here in our community. New to Medicare, the area, have questions about Medicare Advantage plans, supplements, prescription drug coverage? Need a primary care doctor or specialist? Call me, Todd, 896-3100. Unlike football and TV personalities claiming to know Medicare, I've got over 20 years of local experience educating and enrolling folks in Medicare plans. Call me, Todd, at 896-3100. That's 896-3100.
In case you're wondering, World Smile Day is in October, but at Closet Factory, we're celebrating all month because along with time, space, and peace, smiles are our specialty. We make sure some space in your world is put together, stylish, like all is right. And according to Smile Science, is a feeling that makes people smile. Know what else does? $250 in free accessories with any new storage solution from Closet Factory. All smiling October long at Closet Factory and closetfactory.com.
COVID hospitalizations of young people have tripled since start of summer. So talk to your doctor if you've got vaccine questions. We can't do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov, paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. When you hear air conditioning companies bragging about their certified technicians, they're not actually telling you the truth. What they really mean is they have EPA certifications just to work with Freon, which is required. The only recognized certification in this industry for air conditioning is the NATE certification. And unless they're certified, they're not. If they don't have it, it's because they couldn't pass the test. If you want the best, you call Kobe Cooling, because our team is NATE certified. At 239-482-1542, we won't mislead you with false claims about their credentials. Their NATE certification is on their ID. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949, locally owned and operated.
Hey, Sean Hannity here for DeVoe Cadillac. Now, you all know Cadillac is synonymous with quality. In fact, it has been the icon of American-made luxury vehicles for over 100 years. Now, DeVoe Cadillac has been in business for over 50 of those years. Now, they serve Southwest Florida as a family-owned and operated business. They've done it the whole time. The DeVoe family has embraced the same commitment to quality that Cadillac represents. Listen, I could drive whatever I like, and guess what? I choose Cadillac again and again and again because I love my Escalade. I really enjoy the comfort, I enjoy the safety, the style, and that's why, let's see, I've already purchased over 10 Cadillacs in my life, and my go-to dealer in Southwest Florida is DeVoe Cadillac. Now, I know they're going to take great care of you and your new Cadillac with expert service from the people who know it best. Get to know our friends at DeVoe Cadillac, your Cadillac dealer right here in Naples.
Have lunch with Clay and Buck at noon, right after Glenn Beck at 9. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. This is Daybreak with Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
I say this with respect, with all the respect I can muster. But my advice to the president is this. Mr. President, you've just got to try harder not to suck.
That is Senator Kennedy, Republican Senator Kennedy of Louisiana, that was on with Hannity last night as they were talking about everything that's going on with this administration, and basically just putting it out there. I guess what everybody is thinking, but the Senator Kennedy just has absolutely no problem just saying exactly what the truth is and some advice for him, and the underlying causes of what's happening with the crisis in this country, everything that is going on from the border to inflation, the the economy, jobs, all of it, up and down the line, gas prices. It's a mess. That he decides to say that we're going to start working on this Build Back Better plan, and that's what's going to save the day. We got some audio from Biden yesterday talking about how awesome it's going to be, and then he goes off the rails literally figuratively, but he's talking about Amtrak, and he keeps bringing up the Amtrak story that has been debunked like a billion times, and he still goes to it. I just don't know why. Maybe he just doesn't know better. Who knows? It's
true international effort to pressure.
All right. So as we move on this morning, let's see what else we have. Here in the state of Florida, we have an agriculture secretary named Nikki Fried. And you probably know Nikki Fried because she's one of 10 Democrats that are running to try to replace the governor, Ron DeSantis, here in the state of Florida. How that's going to work out? Well, it depends on you showing up en masse. And that's what it's going to take. Look, the races have always been super close in the state. Don't take anything for granted. And so, Nikki Fried is showing even more about not only the January 6th commission and some of the things that are going on there and the lies that are being perpetrated by certain political individuals on the Democrat side about what is and is not an insurrection. It wasn't an insurrection, but they can keep calling it that, and they're going to keep doing that because they want to convince the American people that it was, and they don't want to focus on some of the truths about the time before January 6th, which is the fact that in 2020, in the election cycle, that many people are still concerned about what happened there in the election fraud, how you're not even allowed to talk about it and show the evidence and discuss what happened and the changes that were made by legislatures across the country because of COVID, and the changes that were made that were not state constitutional, and yet they did it anyway. And some of the things that we witnessed, but I don't want to get into all of that because they want to talk about Nikki Fried, because here's where I'm going with this. Many people have asked, well, what does that have to do with us here in the state? I mean, January 6th, we know what happened. We know that many people in Southwest Florida went to Washington, D.C. During that time. And so when Nikki Fried was winning the election, I'm not saying it was beating Matt Caldwell then in 2018, that one of the positions that the agriculture secretary has in the state that people were worried about is the fact that, hey, listen, if you want to get yourself a concealed carry permit, that's where you go. And boy, that might be someone, Nikki Fried, who's not exactly a fan of guns necessarily. Not a fan probably of the Constitution. And as a Democrat, if she's towing the party line, she's definitely not a fan of the Constitution and the rule of law. I'm just saying. But that was part of people's worry and what we would see. And as Nikki Fried has been there in that position, maybe we haven't had the outright taking away of your guns. But something did happen yesterday where Nikki Fried tweeted out that she was announcing the suspension of 6 licenses of domestic terrorists who participated in the January 6th insurrection against the United States. That brings out 28 suspensions. As more charges are filed, we'll continue to hold these traitors accountable. Now, she's running for governor in the state of Florida. She's trying to separate her from the pack of Democrats that all, as Senator Kennedy said, well, he used the word, and I won't, but he already did. You know what the word is. That it is true that she does have the ability to suspend licenses. It is in her purview to do it. And it appears as if she can do it because of some of the laws here in the state. You're not eligible for licensure if you're under arrest or currently charged with any felony or crime punishable by imprisonment for more than a year, or any crime of violence, including crimes of domestic violence. That's here in the state. Also, misdemeanor crime of violence, including any misdemeanor conviction involving the use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against a person or property or another. In other words, if you've had a misdemeanor as well, that could happen. So she can do it. But do you see how she does it? That they're not going to let this go And by doing January 6th commissions and not necessarily going after or worried about, like I talked about earlier, the former president or Steve Bannon, or, they're going to make the suggestion, and that's what it's all about, going after Trump, but it's not. Do you see how it's about going after you? Do you see how Nikki Fried now is going to run with that and say that even though she does have the ability to bring 28 suspensions of their concealed carry permits here in the state because of what we just described, the measurement for denial and suspension in the state, it's the way she puts it out there that is all the propaganda of her trying to show that she somehow is standing up and somehow is the arbiter of all things that are fighting against insurrections that never truly happened, using the words terrorists, insurrection, traitors. Again, today I'm announcing the suspension of 6 licenses of domestic terrorists. Who do you think that feeds to here in the state of Florida, who participated in the January 6th insurrection attempt against the United States? Oh, we're going to hold these people accountable. She's going for the dramatic in order to separate. But again, who is she really going after? Is she going after Donald Trump? No, she's going after you, and that's the point. That's why when Glenn Greenwald, investigative reporter, said, look, the January 6th Commission is not about Trump, it's about power. It's about you. It's about showing who wields the power and what they can do with their power. And don't mess with us. That you could even see how that would be taken down to a state level with an agriculture secretary and what they're willing to do and how far she's willing to go when it comes to the politics of the day. Oh, and by the way,
marijuana.
Yeah, we got to keep that in mind too, because that's a big one for her. Okay. Also here in the state, we do have a governor that is pushing back against what is going on with regard to mask mandates and other mandates and a lot of things that this administration is doing. So we're going to take a break right now. But when we come back, maybe you missed some of what the governor said yesterday, making a bold move against the administration, the DOJ, and the overreach, threatening parents, the National School Board Association, and going to Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, and saying, oh, domestic terrorists, here we go again. Well, what about that? What was said? Going to have that coming up in just a second. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Thursday morning. If you're getting ready to head out on Corkscrew Road in the area around Corkscrew Lakes, the place at Corkscrew, we have a crash right now with possible roadblock and injuries reported. That's a hit-and-run crash at Corkscrew Road and Alico Road. So you'll see some deputies out there on scene, possibly some troopers responding as well as EMS checking on those injuries. Expect to see some delays in both directions of Corkscrew Road and Alico Road as well. Looking good if you're heading on 75, where we're not even seeing any major slowdowns, just some volume really starting to pick up out there on 75, especially through southern Lee County toward Alico Road and Corkscrew Road, even close to Daniels Parkway, seeing some delays out there. Not too bad on US 41. If you're heading out on our area bridges, all running at about 2 to 3 minutes in each direction. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. We'll start to see a bit of an uptick in humidity today. Temperatures climbing to 90 degrees for a daytime high, where we should see a few showers developing in mainly Collier County, south of the Caloosahatchee River, and even the chance to see some of those in southern Lee County today, though many of us will stay dry. A few passing clouds as we head into tonight as we dry things up. Friday morning off to another dry start with a low near 71 degrees. 94 tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning back to the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Folks, it looks like food shortages are here and gonna stick around. Supply chains are breaking down, and inflation is back with a vengeance. It's all part of the shortage economy. What used to be unthinkable is now in the headlines. Are you ready? Do you currently have a stockpile of emergency food at home? If not, go to mypatriotsupply.com today. and you'll find an emergency food kit that's right for you and your family. My Patriot Supply is the largest preparedness company in America, serving millions of families like yours. Pick up a 3-month food kit that stays fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage. The meals in the kit provide over 2,000 delicious calories a day. That's important when you need to survive. Order from mypatriotsupply.com and your food will ship fast in unmarked boxes to protect your privacy. Don't wait for permission or more empty store shelves. Go to mypatriotsupply.com now. mypatriotsupply.com.
Tune in on Sunday mornings, Fox News 92.5, Dr. Amy Robbins, and Maximize Living Radio. I'm going to be going over topics like leaky gut, weight loss resistance, how to fix your chronic aches and pains, how to deal with all of those things in a natural way, how to sleep better. So there's a different topic every single week that we're going to be covering. Tune in and get the help that you need.
With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now, there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, "What is that beautiful SUV?" I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, "How much does it cost?" I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines and rear and all-wheel drive, but that's not all. We have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com. I love my GV80 and you'll love it too.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months at $0 per month for 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
Look and feel your best with Dr. Patrick Flaherty, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Want to hear the latest from an expert? Tune in Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear all the latest innovations in non-surgical, surgical, and lifestyle ideas to help you look and feel your best. Dr. Patrick Flaherty is known for his faces, the fabulous Azul Spa, and now you get your hour with this doctor every Saturday at 10 a.m. Dr. Patrick Flaherty's show is Look and Feel Your Best, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Tune in this Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear how to look and feel your best.
Hi, I'm Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows and Doors in North Fort Myers. And when it comes to hurricane windows and doors, you have two choices, Storm Shield and all the rest.
The aesthetics of the appearance from the outside and the inside is just amazing. But it's quiet. It's really quiet inside, and it's made a huge difference in our energy consumption. My name is Dee Channel, and I have 100% confidence in Storm Shield products. On a scale of 1 to 10, they'd be 10 plus.
Yes, my name is Dwayne Channel. My wife and I made a decision to replace our windows. Storm Shield windows, they were the only company that had the hurricane windows that we were looking for. Our best decision we made was purchasing Storm Shield windows.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%. And our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Hey, how many times can Joe Biden say not a joke in one sitting? Yesterday, in Pennsylvania, making this announcement about the Build Back Better plan and trying to sell it once again and the lies of zero costs and everything else. Listen to how many times he says in 30 seconds, the way he said, this is all in one sitting. This is all from just the time he was in Pennsylvania yesterday. And it's clipped together. Mike Opelka sent me this. Listen to how many times he says not a joke.
Hear me now? Not a joke. Amtrak became my family. Not a joke. He told me, and that's not a joke. The reason why we leapt ahead of the rest of the world. Not a joke. Best in the world. Not a joke. Renewable energy. Not a joke. And Marine One. Not a joke. Keep things moving. Not a joke. That's who we are as Americans. Not a joke. Literally higher. Not a joke. Not a joke. Not a joke. Not a joke. And I come from the corporate state of the world. Not a joke.
That's how many times. That was just yesterday at just the one in Pennsylvania, just in Scranton at the one time. Oh gosh. Anyway. All right. So speaking of yesterday, the Florida Surgeon General had some things to say with regard to masking our kids. You know, the CDC is now saying even if we vaccinate the kids ages 5 to 11, 28 million kids vaccinated, still got to wear those masks, everybody.
We also know that from previous data that schools that have had masks in place were 3.5 times less likely to have school outbreaks requiring school closure.
No. I don't think your information is right. I don't think your information is right there, CDC Walensky. I don't think she's right.
So right now we are going to continue to recommend masks in all schools for all people in those schools.
So she wants to keep recommending, but wait a minute. The governor talked about that yesterday. He's got some information as well. Like when you say things like this, I think your information's wrong.
It's interesting. The U.S. Secretary of Education, he did like some tweet thread, it was like a month ago, and he's like, follow the data on the mask. And he cited a few studies. He cited one study from North Carolina, which said forced masking of kids work, but it had no control group because that was required in every school. So they just said it worked without comparing it against what if you didn't do that, and people pointed that out immediately. Then he cited a study from the university or from Wisconsin about it, and the researcher who did the study immediately responded to the tweet and said, we found no conclusive evidence on the forced masking, and basically said that you should not use my study to do that.
But yet, the schools are going to do it. But yet, they're just going to listen to the unions. But yet, they're still going to. Oh, we got to listen to the CDC because they know. Do they really know? Do they really know? Because again, as far as the governor sees, and even the Florida Surgeon General.
I want you guys to step back for a moment from what you hear sort of constantly on TV. And just very briefly, in terms of the data that supports mask use in kids and mandates for masks in kids, it is very weak, and that's a fact. But there's a substantial gap between the quality of the data out there supporting masks in kids, yielding any benefit for kids whatsoever, factual, and what we're hearing from some of our public health leadership in other states and nationally. In Florida, we're going to stay close to the data, and we're going to let you know how we feel about the data.
Good. Glad to hear that. But again, listen, we're going to get pushed. So why are they doing this? Why are we vaccinating kids 5 to 11 years of age when we know a total of less than 500 children have passed due to COVID since the beginning out of 300 million kids? And to which, even out of those 500, a grand total of 10 to 20 kids without significant pre-existing conditions have died of COVID over the entire course of the pandemic. Those are real numbers. Those are the actual numbers. So why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we masking up the kids in schools? Why are we having these mask mandates and not giving parents the choice, but doing these mandates when all the evidence would show that mask mandates and no mask mandates, there are no significant differences. So what are we doing this for? You probably already know the answer. 239-479-5592. We'll have more of this in just a little while, but when we come back, we're going to speak with David Drucker. He is a senior writer for the Washington Examiner. He's got a brand new book called In Trump's Shadow, The Battle for 2024 and the Future of the GOP. I wonder what David Drucker has learned and his extensive reporting and what he has found out through the post-Trump era now that we are in, what he believes is going to take place. We'll have that coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet. So leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $70 off any electrical repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
True relief for back and neck pain. Did you play golf or tennis today and wish that you didn't have to deal with the back or neck pain? Do you feel hesitant to swing all the way through or run across the court because of pain? People just assume they have to live with it or just get epidurals. They are wrong. People look at it from the wrong perspective. Most people only think about treating the symptoms and not the cause. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we treat the cause using non-surgical spinal decompression. Now available for anyone, not just the injured or professional athletes. Spinal decompression is a safe, non-surgical treatment that takes pressure off the nerves and discs, increasing blood circulation, allowing the back to heal. Safe, long-lasting results for sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, herniated discs, or even failed back surgery. Don't suffer. Call my Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation. Johnson Spinal Care, 596 Back, 596 BACK. That's 596-2225.
You heard us right. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
Democrats are still trying to work it out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Somewhere along the way, we stopped investing in ourselves.
President Biden is now considering a $2 trillion social spending plan, down from $3.5. Fox's Griff Jenkins.
The president returned to his hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania, to repitch his domestic agenda currently stalled in Congress, floating new ways to pay for a multi-trillion-dollar social services and climate change package.
The cost of the Build Back Better bill in terms of adding to the deficit is zero.
All Republicans opposed the plan and proposed tax hikes. COVID cases have been declining lately in the U.S., below 100,000 a second straight day, though deaths rose to over 3,000. Parts of Europe are seeing a virus spike, prompting lockdowns. Fox's Simon Owens live in London.
Dave, restaurants, bars and shops in Moscow have been told they must close next week for a 10-day coronavirus lockdown. Russia keeps reporting new daily record numbers of both infections and deaths, with most of its population still unvaccinated. Latvia, meanwhile, also struggling with low vaccination rates, has become the first EU country to reimpose lockdown restrictions. Its Prime Minister said the health system is in danger. Dave?
Simon, the FDA has approved boosters for Americans who've already gotten the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccines. For anyone over 18 for J&J. Moderna, it's people over 65 and those at higher COVID risk.
Also, the FDA said it is safe enough for patients to get a booster that is different than the brand of their original vaccination. The final decision before the boosters can be implemented has to come from the CDC.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. He's no longer able to post on Facebook, and Trump tweets are no longer allowed. So the former president is starting his own media company that will include his own social media platform called Truth Social. America's listening to Fox News.
Big news this from update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. We have a crash right now along 41 near Gladiolus Drive at Lake Ridge Court, which is what Andrea Lane turns into, just off of that stretch of 41. Seeing delays going past that crash scene southbound, especially on the highway. So expect some slowdowns heading toward Gladiolus Drive. Also a crash on 41 in Naples near Pine Ridge Road at Seagate Drive, right near the Waterside Shops. You'll see some delays out there with deputies on scene trying to get that crash cleared. And a hit-and-run crash heading through Corkscrew Road at Alico Road, right near the Wild Blue community and Corkscrew Shores. Just seeing a little bit of a slowdown there, but no actual roadblock nearby. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
We'll have
Happy Thursday. Today, a day of transition from the drier weather pattern that we've had to what's eventually going to be more of a humid and unsettled weather pattern as we head into the remainder of the week and into the upcoming weekend. A high of 90 degrees for today as we start to feel that humidity increase a tad. A few showers will be possible late this afternoon and into this evening, mainly for Collier County and those areas south of the Caloosahatchee River. We keep it quieter as we head into tonight, certainly for your Friday morning with a low near 71 degrees, waking up. 90 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning for the afternoon. Saturday featuring more isolated storms. Sunday a bit wetter with scattered thunderstorms back in the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
No matter where you want to listen, you'll be all set when you stream 92.5 Fox News live at rightallalong.net.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Offices, Fort Myers and Nate.
Jason and Todd are celebrating love this weekend as they welcome world-renowned designers A. Jaffe and My Caroline to the Diamond District for their never-ending love event, featuring stunning and unforgettable diamond eternity rings offered at 20% less than designers' manufactured pricing.
Stuffy mornings and sleepless nights. The air in your home might be to blame. AC by Florida Comfort Systems makes your indoor air perfect with reliable Lennox products. AC by Florida Comfort Systems. Visit us online at acbyfcs.com. License number CAC 057065.
Sales desk, Marty speaking.
Marty.
What?
They've all gone mad.
Who?
Victory Lane Chevrolet.
Where?
On the corner of Fowler and Winkler.
How?
During Moonlight Madness, Victory Lane's paying overbook value for trades, giving crazy discounts on new Chevys, and they don't scare customers away with insane high-pressure sales tactics.
Why? Why would they do that?
Because, Marty, you do. It's Moonlight Madness at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Get over book value for your trade and save thousands on new Chevys. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on select new Chevys. And current Costco members receive an additional $1,000 off MSRP on most new Chevys in stock. And your credit pass can't haunt you anymore with our goal 100% credit approval. Don't miss Moonlight Madness at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com.
0% equals $13.89 per thousand finance with approved credit on select models. All rebates to dealer cannot combine offers. Costco members must provide proof of membership. Expires 10/31/21.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching the program and subscribing to the podcast. Drew Steele, just type it into any of your favorite locations. In Trump's shadow, the battle for 2024 and the future of the GOP is a new book by David Drucker. And I'm excited to speak to him about this book, senior correspondent for the Washington Examiner, focusing on Congress, campaigns, and national political trends. And he is joining us this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I appreciate a few minutes of your time today. And, obviously, as the title is talking about, in Trump's shadow and the battle for 2024, it's looking at some of the names that I see that have been popping up and the kind of list, this list of different people. It is interesting how there are some that are in and have been very close to the Trump orbit. You have people like Mike Pompeo, of course, and Mike Pence, and and Trump himself. And I might ask right out of the gate, are you confident? Is it going to happen? Is Trump definitely going to be on this in list? Is he in?
Yeah, so this is the worst answer I could possibly give you. When I interviewed the former president at Mar-a-Lago, he sounded very much like somebody who wants to run, but did not sound like somebody who has decided to run. And I think that if he thinks that Joe Biden is weak, if he thinks the Democratic Party is in trouble, the chances of him running go up because he sees a better chance of him winning. But just given his age, even though he's so vigorous and seems healthy enough, I don't think you can ever rule anything in or out. And I really do think it's 50-50. That is my best analysis based on the reporting, based on the few hours that I spent with him at Mar-a-Lago in May and in keeping tabs and in touch with people since.
And what does it mean when you have people like Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence being in the discussion, people, like I said, close in the Trump orbit, obviously, for obvious reasons, vice president and of course, Secretary there, Pompeo, what they think when they look at a possibility that Trump, let's say, gets in, how that works for them, or how they kind of maneuver what we've seen before with a Marco Rubio or a Ted Cruz, which is, I don't know if you really want to necessarily push against the former president because he likes to push back.
Correct. Look, in reporting and these are all great questions, in reporting in Trump's shadow, one of the things I learned was that the names that you mentioned and other potential candidates that I write about in the book had been preparing to run for president in 2024 since basically the day Trump took office in 2017. And it's one of the things I found so fascinating. In the old days, you'd wait for the incumbent president of your party to run for re-election. They win, they lose. They lose, it's too bad. But then the next day, everybody's free to be selfish and do whatever they want. Nobody waited around. They have been, whether you're talking about Mike Pence on a smaller scale because he was Secretary of State and couldn't be as overtly political. But if you look at Mike Pence and the political operation he was building while he was vice president, if you look at Tom Cotton, Ted Cruz, they've all been building towards a 2024 run. Nobody is going to slow down or diminish their push to 2024 simply because Trump might run. And then the question becomes, if Trump does run, who backs out? And in my reporting and in talking to people close to Mike Pompeo and the former vice president and others, they have not decided that they won't run if Trump runs. And they're not going to say that they're not going to run if Trump runs. They all want to appear strong, and they all want to appear like this is something they're willing to do no matter what. And I could imagine some of them running. And then if Trump gets in, or if Trump turns out to be as strong a candidate a third time as the polling suggests, and there's no reason to believe right now the polling's wrong, then at that time they can always say, hey, listen, I'm not going to do this anymore. Clearly the voters want Trump, and I'm going to support Trump. But what I would say, and what I learned from in Trump's shadow, is they haven't folded up shop, and they won't fold up shop until it's clear, if it ever becomes clear, that they have to.
Right. Yeah, and certainly nobody would suggest that that because, you have these aspirations and you've worked very hard to get to that place, that one person, no matter who it would be the suggestion that you would back away from something that you've worked so hard to do. Certainly they would look at all the logistics, but the idea that they would pull back. But certainly when you speak of people like, let's just say, Ron DeSantis, obviously here in the state of Florida, where a lot of people would be excited about a DeSantis run. Just had the conversation last night with somebody as we were talking about that. How even that plays into what the thinking would be because of the fact that, we have a very important race here, certainly, and there are many people who don't want to lose him as governor. But ultimately, what that means to be put out there for somebody like a Governor DeSantis, who's going to be on a stage ultimately if he decides to do this and run, where, boy, if you're going to go, let's just say, one-on-one or toe-to-toe with the former president, you've got to be ready for that. You've got to be ready for that pushback and what kind of quote-unquote damage could come.
You do, and in an interview with Mike Pompeo for my companion podcast to the book, which is also aptly titled "In Trump's Shadow: The Battle for 2024."
Yeah.
I asked Mike Pompeo, look, if Trump runs, does this mean you won't run? And he wouldn't say that he wouldn't run, but what he said is essentially, if you believe that you deserve to be president, if you want to be president, you can't say automatically that you would back down because somebody else is running. In other words, you have to believe in yourself enough that you wouldn't back down for anybody, or the voters will never believe in you. And look, as an aside, mentioning Governor DeSantis, who obviously is getting a lot of 2024 play in the discussion, you guys in Florida could have you have three people that are talked about, or at least are eyeing the presidency in some form, and Governor DeSantis, Senator Rick Scott, and Senator Marco Rubio. I write about Rubio extensively in the book. So you guys could be very, very busy down there.
That's how good we are, David. That's how good we are here in the States. That's all we're doing. We're just pumping out presidential candidates is what we do here. David Drucker joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. His book, In Trump's Shadow, The Battle for 2024 and the Future of the GOP. David, in the book, I wonder if one of the things that maybe you've learned about, or maybe you can talk about, is something that another conversation I had last night, which is the base, everybody talks about the base, what the base is, what the base was, what the base is going to be moving forward. Is it different? You talk about 2016 and before, and many people felt like they knew they had a good read on what the base was. And then Trump comes along and it's like, well, maybe they want somebody who's going to push back a little bit, and certainly maybe the decisions of what the base was actually changed. What about that?
Really, really good question, because we shorthand this all the time in political reporting, and we talk about the base of the Democratic and the Republican Party as though it's monolithic and it's static, and it's not. And we often misinterpret what the base is telling us. Republicans for years thought what the base wanted was an ideological scorecard, and you had to check all of the boxes. And while there are many issues that you cannot cross the voters on, whether it's gun rights or the Second Amendment or abortion issues, what we found out in 2016 was that they were looking for a different kind of leader, a different kind of attitude from their leader. At least Republicans were.
Yeah.
What I feel like I learned in Trump's Shadow, though, at least for 2024, is that the voters want a nominee, they want a candidate, if Trump doesn't run, that is going to tell them that they are going to continue Trump's legacy from a policy perspective, and that they are going to continue Trump's legacy from an attitudinal perspective. They're going to have to find a way to do it in their own authentic way, because aping Trump will look inauthentic, and voters these days of both parties hate inauthentic.
Right.
But they are not interested in I'm old enough that I was raised in the era, at least on the Republican side, of the sort of Reagan-esque statesman, right?
Right.
Somebody who, fills a room with eloquence, and there are certain words they won't use, and they'll fight and they'll dig, but it'll be a little bit more refined. They want somebody who's raw, and they want somebody who's willing to take on all comers, that almost nobody's too small to punch down on.
Right.
Because it sends a signal to voters that you're willing to fight for me. And I do think Trump represents a generational turn of events in the Republican Party, so that for most of my life, every 4 years, Republican candidates for president were promising to be the next Ronald Reagan. And I think what you're going to see in 2024, and especially if he doesn't run because the crowd will be bigger, is that in one form or another, they're going to promise to be the next Trump. Some will be more subtle about it. Some will be very overt about it. But that's going to be the underlying message that most of them are going to deliver.
But boy, you can't fake that. You can't be some of the names that we're talking about in the book: Tom Cotton, Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz, and Pompeo, and Pence, and Nikki Haley. You can't be these individuals knowing that you have a record. You have a time in office, and you have video and audio and everything on display, and fake that. So maybe the one question I would ask you before we go is one that's pretty straightforward. Have they learned anything from Trump?
Well, we're going to find out. I think they have in that. I think they understand at a sort of basic way what Republican voters want from them. I think the question is, and you alluded to this, can they be their authentic selves and satisfy what the voters want?
Yeah.
And some of them are figuring that out better than others. And then ultimately, there's just the old issue of fundamentals, blocking and tackling, and do they have the kind of candidate qualities that inspire voters to turn out for them and support them? Because you can have everything on paper and check every box, but if people are not inspired by you, if they just are not going to believe in you, they're going to say, hey, man, I hope you end up as Secretary of Defense or something like that, but I'm just not motivated to vote for you for president. And that, it has nothing to do with whether Trump runs or doesn't, because ultimately candidate quality and candidate ability and whether you put together a good campaign and can raise money is still going to matter in there somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. The detail in the book is important, and certainly I would encourage you to pick up the book today, In Trump's Shadow, The Battle for 2024 and the Future of the GOP. You'll get all the details on each of these in candidates, if you will, individual assessments of where they're at. And certainly right now, as it seems early to people, it seems like this might be early talk. It really is not. It happens now, especially considering the conditions that we are under and what is happening in this country. Now more than ever, we need to vet. We need to know in detail. We need to have all of that. And that's what's so great about the book, certainly. And that's why I would encourage you to pick it up. In Trump's Shadow, The Battle for 2024 and the Future of the GOP. David Drucker joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I hope to have some more time with you in the future, sir. I'd love to talk more about this as the days and years progress, certainly leading up to 2024. All the best with the book.
Thanks so much. I'll come back anytime.
All right. I appreciate it. 239-479-5592. Yeah, it's about finding out about these individuals and what he's looking at. And even here, it's you've got somebody like Marco Rubio who you haven't heard a whole lot from when we're talking about thinking about 2024, gearing things back up, and some of the lumps that he was taking in 2016 that we know full well about, and others, but certainly when you think about when the time is right to look at all of this, it's now. It absolutely is now. Just like we should look to 2024, but as far as 22 is concerned, we need to be heavy into that as well. We could do both. Keep an eye on all of it. All right, it is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along. Let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Therese O'Shea, she has it.
Good morning. A busy start heading out through 41 near Gladiolus Drive in Fort Myers. We have a crash there near Andrea Lane, Lake Ridge Court, heading southbound off to the side of the road, but traffic is slow moving going past that crash. We also have one in Cape Coral at Southwest 38th Street and Chiquita Boulevard. Another crash also in Buckingham toward Buckingham Road and Alaska Avenue, just off of the intersection of Alvin and Buckingham, slowing down traffic just a little bit nearby. Collier County, you got a crash on 41 near the Waterside Shops at Seagate Drive in 41. A crash also on Collier Boulevard and Business Circle in East Naples. Another at Radio Road and Commercial Boulevard. Crash also heading through State Road 82 at Corkscrew with possible injuries. So watch out for some delays in that area as deputies are getting out to that scene. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. We'll start to see a bit of an uptick in humidity today. Temperatures climbing to 90 degrees for a daytime high, where we should see a few showers developing in mainly Collier County, south of the Caloosahatchee River, and even the chance to see some of those in southern Lee County today, though many of us will stay dry. A few passing clouds as we head into tonight as we dry things up. Friday morning off to another dry start with a low near 71 degrees. 94 tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning back to the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, This is Earl Ron. I'm the president of New South Window Solutions. What I like people to understand about our company is what's unique about us. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. We go out of our way to make it easy. If you're thinking about buying new windows, consider New South. Don't even think about buying windows from anyone else till you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers.
Going on now, save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Hey, Sean Hannity here for DeVoe Cadillac. Now, you all know Cadillac is synonymous with quality. In fact, it has been the icon of American-made luxury vehicles for over 100 years. Now, DeVoe Cadillac has been in business for over 50 of those years. Now, they serve Southwest Florida as a family-owned and operated business. They've done it the whole time. The DeVoe family has embraced the same commitment to quality that Cadillac represents. Listen, I could drive whatever I like, and guess what? I choose Cadillac again and again and again because I love my Escalade. I really enjoy the comfort, I enjoy the safety, the style, and that's why, let's see, I've already purchased over 10 Cadillacs in my life, and my go-to dealer in Southwest Florida is DeVoe Cadillac. Now, I know they're going to take great care of you and your new Cadillac with expert service from the people who know it best. Get to know our friends at DeVoe Cadillac, your Cadillac dealer right here in Naples.
President of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet. So leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $70 off any electrical repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Seems like everything is overpriced these days, right? It's called market inflation. Hey, Aaron Walker here at Naples Nissan with some suggestions to help you take some air out of that inflation. Current gas prices? Ouch. Regular service checkups and maintenance will help you get better gas mileage. Get a free 20-minute checkup at Naples Nissan. All makes and models are welcome. Plus, get our $99 Inflation Fighter Alignment Special. Naples Nissan rents cars. Choose from over 100 rentals with rates starting at just $49 per day. Or get our Inflation Fighter Rental Special and pay just $9.99 for an entire month. And of course, you can still get the original base MSRP for your trade-in. If it's a 2013 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, then whatever it was worth when it was brand new, that's exactly what it will be worth right now. But only at Naples Nissan. Come see us on Pine Ridge Road or visit naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined. See dealer for details.
When was the last time you checked in on your insurance? Give CIG a chance to review your current coverage and find you better rates. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. My team and I are dedicated to finding you the best suited coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Qualified agents are standing by. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
After Drew, it's Glenn Beck 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hey, we're not allowed to have comedy, everybody. Nobody's allowed to laugh in this country. We just got to stop. Stop with the comedy. Yesterday, what did they have? Netflix, a couple of dozen employees walked out yesterday. They were angry about Dave Chappelle's comedy special, The Closer. And I know a few people that have watched it, and they said, funny, kind of, sort of. It was more like commentary. It was him, some political commentary and some comedy and some serious moments. And the transgender activists expressed their wants and desires for the company. Here's what they want. They want all trans employees to get a raise. They want harm reduction, and they want to clamp down on transphobia and hate speech. Okay, we'll get right on that. And there were some counter-protesters. There's one counter-protester. His name is Vito Gesualdi from I don't know where he's from, but he was showing a message of support for Chappelle. He had a big old sign. He said, we love jokes. And then he goes with the sign, and listen to what happened.
Why is he breaking my sign? Why is he breaking my sign?
They pulled the sign down,
Free speech rights are all of you.
and they're breaking the sign.
He's got a weapon. He's got a weapon.
He's got a weapon. So they took he has a big sign, a big pole, right? And he's got the sign on the end of the pole, and they pull the sign down, and they step on the sign, and they smash it. And then he's holding a pole, and they're like, he's got a weapon. He's got a weapon. So he's got to get rid of it now. He's got a weapon. This is him laughing.
Oh, you want me to drop my weapon? Yes. Okay. And leave. There's my weapon.
So he has to drop the pole.
I'm not destructing anything.
He's just like, what do I do now? These are jokes. They're jokes.
I'm just here to say that jokes are funny, people.
I'm just here to say jokes are funny, and they were not having it. Apparently, jokes are not funny, and you're not allowed to joke. And so it was quite the scene yesterday. All right, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
No matter what it's like outside, Trane makes it comfortable inside. You can get a great deal now on a new heating and cooling system at Trane. Visit TraneInfo.com. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local dealer and more, because it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, Stuart Duncan here of Duncan's Diamonds. People come into our store here in Southwest Florida and are amazed by the selection of beautiful fine jewelry and at exceptional prices. At Duncan's Diamonds, I will make sure personally that we give you the finest quality at the best possible prices. We get very excited about diamonds and are here to help you find that special diamond. We have the largest selection of magnificent and exclusive designer styles for you to choose from. Also, if you find a diamond or style on the internet, bring in a picture and we will get it or make it exactly to your specifications. And our prices and quality will exceed your expectations. I personally guarantee it. At Duncan's Diamonds, we will not be undersold by anyone, anywhere, or any place, and you can count on it. Come in and see us in Fort Myers on US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and in Naples at the Mercado Shopping Center.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. A busy start heading out through 41 near Gladiolus Drive in Fort Myers. We have a crash there near Andrea Lane, Lake Ridge Court, heading southbound off to the side of the road, but traffic is slow moving going past that crash. We also have one in Cape Coral at Southwest 38th Street and Chiquita Boulevard. Another crash also in Buckingham toward Buckingham Road and Alaska Avenue, just off of the intersection of Alvin and Buckingham, slowing down traffic just a little bit nearby. Collier County, you got a crash on 41 near the Waterside Shops at Seagate Drive in 41. A crash also on Collier Boulevard and Business Circle in East Naples. Another at Radio Road and Commercial Boulevard. Crash also heading through State Road 82 at Corkscrew with possible injuries, so watch out for some delays in that area as deputies are getting out to that scene. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. Today, a day of transition from the drier weather pattern that we've had to what's eventually going to be more of a humid and unsettled weather pattern as we head into the remainder of the week and into the upcoming weekend. A high of 90 degrees for today as we start to feel that humidity increase a tad. A few showers will be possible late this afternoon and into this evening, mainly for Collier County and those areas south of the Caloosahatchee River. We keep it quieter as we head into tonight, certainly for your Friday morning with a low near 71 degrees, waking up. 90 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning for the afternoon. Saturday featuring more isolated storms. Sunday a bit wetter with scattered thunderstorms back in the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
When you run a business, setbacks change everything. And online, they happen fast. With your Comcast Business Internet, you can stay ahead. And now you can add Comcast Business Security Edge to make your network more secure. It helps keep your network safe with scans every 10 minutes. And unlike some cybersecurity options, this helps protect every device that's connected. Because when your information, your people, and your company have Security Edge, you can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Find out how to get 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 11/7/21. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers only. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Security Edge not included.
If you needed heart surgery, who would you call? A doctor who's done it every day or a doctor who's done it once a year? The same is true about your erectile dysfunction. At the Fort Myers Men's Clinic, our Florida physicians focus on one thing: solving your ED. High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, prostate cancer, these all contribute to your ED. And our physicians at the Fort Myers Men's Clinic know how to solve your problems. We have over 50 different custom formulations tailored just for you. You get to try the medication containing FDA-approved ingredients right in our office. Your total cost for the consultation, test dose, testosterone, and PSA test is only $99. If the test dose doesn't work, you pay us nothing. So you have absolutely nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Call now, 239-317-7777. That's 239-317-7777, and move from skeptic to believer. 317-7777, 317-7777, or online at fortmyersmensclinic.com.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, almost 2 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So, we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tolerance inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. License number CCC 057803. Call Papa now for our free tolerance inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tolerance inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Area code 239-945-2700.
Health insurance. We all hate it, but we have to have it. Hey, Southwest Florida, it's Tyler McCluskey here, and as an insurance executive for the past 10 years, I now host a show every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. I explain everything you need to know about the health insurance industry and show you all how to save money. For more information, tune in this Saturday at 11 or call now for a free quote at 239-633-3140 or online at tylermccluskey.com.
Hey, look, you don't have to go through the fall months with that joint pain. You can call QC Kinetics now. Regenerative solutions that are here, bringing lasting relief from joint pain with no downtime, no surgery, no steroids. It's Drew Steele talking about QC Kinetics. They use natural biologic therapies that restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, shoulders, hips, and back. Patients here are raving about the results. Don't think surgery is your only option. Call QC Kinetics now and learn more about these exciting natural alternatives. You've heard football legend Ebbets Smith talk about QC? It's time you see what it's all about. Fall is the time to enjoy life to its fullest, so why not act right now? Restorative, regenerative therapies, they're available now. And the office consultation is free. Call QC Kinetics, 239-893-PAIN. Non-surgical joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics, 239-893-PAIN. Non-surgical joint pain relief, 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN, 239-893-PAIN.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the Drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
All right, 239-479-5592. We give you the number right now because coming up in about 10 more minutes, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. And we've got a $35 gift card to Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue, 2 locations in Collier County. So you will win the $35 gift card coming up in about 10 more minutes for Drew's College. Also, what did Condoleezza Rice on The View yesterday say about critical race theory? It had people shocked. Well, they're shocked. Surprised? Well, they were surprised. But she was pretty spot on. Considering that critical race theory isn't being taught in our schools, I don't know why they would have a conversation about it. Well, because it is. But what she said, you have to hear. And that's going to be coming up in just a minute. But first, safety and security expert for Wink News, Richard Kolko, is joining us right now on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, because I wanted to ask questions about the latest and some of what we heard yesterday. About the remains that were found in the park near Brian Laundrie's belongings. The latest on Brian Laundrie and the search for him, and find out more about what's going on with that. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, Drew. Good morning to you.
So what do we have here? Person of interest, the belongings, everything that took place yesterday. Can you give us an update on exactly what happened?
Sure, busy day. The day before yesterday, the Laundrie parents contacted the FBI and North Point Police and said they were going back out to the reserve to search. So law enforcement said they're going to join them. They did, and in a very short time, they located what they think, Brian Laundrie's belongings and some remains that now the Laundrie family lawyer says are likely his. So, of course, law enforcement has to go through the testing. But first, they're going to have to do a pretty significant search of the area so they can collect everything they can there.
How long will that take?
It's going to take several days just because of the terrain and the difficulty of doing the search there. The FBI has their evidence response team involved. Local law enforcement will provide resources as well. And if it goes even bigger than that, the FBI has additional resources available in Quantico, Virginia with some real high-tech stuff, and they can bring all that down there. So you can expect to see a law enforcement presence for at least the next several days there.
Was there? Did somebody use the term person of interest in the story?
Well, person of interest has been floating around. Yesterday, the FBI special agent in charge, I think, went a little stronger than that. Clearly, not everybody, but most people think that Brian Laundrie had some involvement in the murder of Gabby, and may be difficult to determine at this time, but they'll continue forward with the investigation anyway.
Right. So a couple of other things that I was going to ask. One of them was, I thought it was interesting yesterday as the story was starting to unfold about showing up there at Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, was that Lee County's coroner's van was there instead of was that what it was?
Sarasota County.
Okay, because I saw that it looked as if there were Lee County trucks or vehicles that were there as well.
Many of the sheriffs and police departments have provided resources to assist in the search. That's pretty standard. I mean, the sheriffs in Florida have a relatively good working relationship across borders and help each other out whenever necessary.
Yeah, because people were asking.
Lee County is one of the biggest sheriffs in the state, and Carmine Marcino, often volunteers his folks to provide assistance throughout Florida.
Yeah, because people were asking me as the story was unfolding, and I was watching video, and they were like, "Well, why is Lee County there? Why isn't someone else there in the coroner's office?" I guess, and people were saying things like, "It would happen, and it's happened before, like you just described, that we may have some resources that others do not that will help to."
to make these.
Oh, sure. That's part of a different conversation, what's called mutual aid, where the sheriff's departments, fire departments, police departments are all have documented, authority to go assist neighboring departments when necessary. So, Sarasota here, don't forget that reserve is, as big as the city of Fort Myers. So it's a big area to search. So being able to call in law enforcement resources from other areas was helpful getting it done.
Yeah. And, obviously people have been asking me, and, I don't know if you can describe this or talk about this specifically, but certainly the parents and the questions about, obviously, you've got the drone issue and that whole thing, and whether or not he was hiding in the backyard and that going on. And then obviously, the questions as to why it seems like they're not talking and saying a lot to media and others, and all kinds of questions about the parents. Maybe you can talk about that.
Well, I'm a parent, you're a parent, and you always, default to wanting to, protect your child. I understand that. But that doesn't mean you protect them from when they've done something like this. But at some point it had to segue from protecting your child to being worried about your child being alive. And the parents needed to be available to cooperate to help find Brian Laundrie wherever he might have been, hopefully at that point alive, but perhaps deceased at this point. But the parents have to be concerned about that and let the law enforcement portion of it, or the fall where it may later, but you have to be worried about your child's life. And it just didn't seem like, at least at the beginning, that was their concern. When the first time law enforcement showed up and they opened the door and just handed out a lawyer from the letter saying, we're not talking.
Right.
So, and then the fact that, just the other night they said, we're heading back out there, and within a matter of minutes, they literally went directly to where Brian's stuff was located in the park. Is just... Yeah.
Well, that's the other
little hanky.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this story is, as you've described it and others have, that they were just deciding that they were going to go out there, and then police are like, yeah, well, we're going to come along with you. Like, this was just a decision that they made, that all of a sudden they decided that, hey, we want to keep looking and we're going, and then now we come to find this specific spot.
Yeah. Just a little
happenstance.
I hope they get to the bottom of that. Yeah. I don't think much will happen until they determine whose remains they are definitively. Hopefully that won't take too long. I'm sure law enforcement and the medical examiner will do everything they can to get it done as quick as they can. DNA testing on bones takes a lot longer than on tissue, but there may be other clues depending on how spread out the remains are. Don't forget that this reserve is full of scavenging animals. It was covered by water. It's been a month. It's not a pretty a skeleton laying there, intact.
Yeah.
So law enforcement has some work to do to gather that all under some very adverse conditions. This is not, just digging in somebody's backyard. So
right.
Not a simple task, but something they're up to. Just might find it interesting. FBI has these evidence response teams in every office, and certain members go to a place in Tennessee. I believe it's University of Tennessee. It's called the Body Farm. And this body farm puts bodies out under different conditions, and law enforcement learns how to collect them. Sun, heat, underwater, different levels of decomposition, and they'll put that training to use in this investigation now.
I apologize to anybody who's having breakfast at this moment in time. In the morning, I wasn't really prepared for that myself. I just was getting ready to reach over for a boiled egg, and I think I'll just put that on. All right. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. All right. Richard Kolko, safety and security expert at Wink News. We appreciate it. Hey, when you have updates, please let me know so we can get the latest.
Have a good morning.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Enjoy your egg later.
Well, yeah, it will be a lot later. Thanks to you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. There he goes. Wasn't expecting that. 239-479-5592. Okay, so I wanted to mention this story before we go to break. Do you want to go now, or do you want to do this now, or why don't we do this now? Do you want to do Drew's College now, and then we'll go? Okay, let's do this. Let's do Drew's College right now. I wanted to play the audio of Condoleezza Rice from The View yesterday talking about CRT. So here's what I want you to do. Don't go anywhere. Stay there, because you're going to want to hear this. Because, man, talk about succinctly spelling out the issues of critical race theory and teaching our kids about critical race theory in our schools. Condoleezza Rice, I think, nailed it just the other day on The View. We'll get to that coming up. But you right now should call this station, 239-479-5592. Why? Well, because you want to talk to Jake. But not only that, you'll get to talk to Jake for a half a second. And we need you to be the 9th caller so that you can play Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree.
We'll see if you earn a PhD and a $35 gift card to the Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue with 2 locations in Collier. $35 gift card will be yours just for playing, having a little fun with us, and learning a little bit on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. 9th caller right now. Let's find out what's going on with traffic. Up to the minute, here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Thursday morning. Heading out right now through 41. You'll still see some flashing lights with deputies on scene of a crash. Heading southbound on 41 toward Gladiolus Drive off of Lake Ridge Court and Andrea Lane. We also have a crash we're watching at Buckingham Road and Alaska Avenue in the Buckingham area. Just some slight slowdowns there. And a crash along 41, Business 41 at Pondella Road in North Fort Myers, causing some slight slowdowns at that intersection. Collier County, we got a crash along 82 near the Corkscrew Road intersection with possible injuries and roadblock. That's right near that intersection, but just a little bit to the east of it, causing some delays heading toward State Road 29 near the Collier-Lee County line. We have a crash as well at Commercial Boulevard and Radio Road right off of Livingston, and one getting cleared up at 41 and Seagate Drive. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. We'll start to see a bit of an uptick in humidity today. Temperatures climbing to 90 degrees for a daytime high, where we should see a few showers developing in mainly Collier County, south of the Coosatchee River, and even the chance to see some of those in southern Lee County today, though many of us will stay dry. A few passing clouds as we head into tonight as we dry things up. Friday morning off to another dry start with a low near 71 degrees. 94 tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning back to the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Why we have Clay and Buck. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Today, noon to 3 on 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
IRAs have always been a great way for investors to direct their investment dollars into real estate investments, but that option is under attack in Biden's new Build Back Better plan. Ty Lassiter here from Key City Capital to give you the details. Many of our investors choose to use a self-directed IRA to place their investment dollars in Key City Capital because they love the double-digit returns that we deliver. However, if Biden gets his way, the new stimulus package may limit or even remove your freedom to invest with your IRA dollars in most real estate investments. But rest assured, Key City Capital is hard at work to deliver the promised returns to our investors.
Call Key City Capital today for your free tax and wealth analysis appointment at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. Check us out online at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with Grace, a Tri-Found company, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Introducing the FPL Energy Manager, a new way to take control of your energy use and your bill. You can monitor, analyze, even simulate your energy use and save. Find savings to sing about at fpl.com/take control.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge. It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Scott in Naples. Hello, Scott in Naples.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Good.
Oh, good. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Hey, do you remember who the president of the United States was? Well, maybe you don't remember, but can you tell me the president in the year 1982? Who would that have been?
Ronald Reagan.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a associate's, a bachelor's degree on this question. How often are U.S. representative elections held? U.S. reps.
every 2 years.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do?
Freed the slaves?
Yep, that is correct. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. Well, it wasn't today, but in 1865, Abraham Lincoln's assassin was surrounded by federal troops, shot and killed. Who was that assassin?
John Wilkes Booth.
That is correct, sir.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's right. Well, congratulations. You got a PhD, even though you ended with a question mark. It's
yeah. Okay. I did.
You did, but it's okay because you got it right. You got a PhD. You were the smartest person in your car. Well, on your phone. I don't know who's in the car with you. And you got a $35 gift card to the Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue, 2 locations in Naples. One's on Collier Boulevard in Pine Ridge. And they have a new location at the Galleria Shops on Vanderbilt Beach Road. And from what I understand, the most amazing Appalachian sauce you can ever imagine. What's the sauce name, Jake? It's
Alabama.
Alabama sauce.
Yeah, the Alabama sauce there. So I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Jake is. Okay, good. Well, congratulations, Scott. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there, and we'll get you to Jake, and so you can get that $35 gift card. Another one tomorrow. So make sure you're listening same time tomorrow. 239-479-5592. All right, let's do this right now. The ladies at The View were surprised when some of the comments by Condoleezza Rice about CRT were made on their program. And maybe it was just because, well, listen, the discussion was, look, it was View-esque. You got Joy Behar and you got Whoopi, and you know how sometimes that goes. But as there was this calm approach to what was being talked about, the CRT. You know, it doesn't exist. It's not being taught in schools until it is being taught, and then we're going to fight it to the end. We're going to make sure that we have them in school because you can't have a world-class school district unless you're teaching kids to be racist. Is that what's going on? So when asked about this and her opinion on it, Condoleezza Rice on The View had a couple of things to say. Remember Condoleezza Rice, the national security advisor, and then the Secretary of State under former President George W. Bush. As she was asking about a lot of she was asked a lot of questions, but then the question of CRT was brought up, and listen to how she described it.
I come out of an academic institution, and this is something that academics debate. What is the role of race and so forth? And let me be very clear. I grew up in segregated Birmingham, Alabama. I couldn't go to a movie theater or to a restaurant with my parents. I went to segregated schools till we moved to Denver. My parents never thought I was going to grow up in a world without prejudice, but they also told me that's somebody else's problem, not yours. You're going to overcome it, and you are going to be anything you want to be. And that's the message that I think we ought to be sending to kids. One of the worries that I have about the way that we're talking about race is that it either seems so big that somehow white people now have to feel guilty for everything that happened in the past. I don't think that's very productive. Or black people have to feel disempowered by race. I would like black kids to be completely empowered, to know that they are beautiful in their blackness. But in order to do that, I don't have to make white kids feel bad for being white.
How about that? Now, hold on a second. As some of the audience were like, whoa, and Joy Behar has to jump in and say, she needs her to describe that again. Wait.
So somehow this is a conversation that has gone in the wrong direction.
That last part, you don't have to watch?
Yeah, you know, there's a little bit of it in order for black kids who, quite frankly, for a long time, the way they were portrayed, the way their history was portrayed, it was second-class citizenship.
Of course.
But I don't have to make white children feel bad about being white in order to overcome the fact that black children were...
How does that happen?
It happens.
And then the ladies on The View, of course, after that, they're like, oh, but what about that? What about that case to say it's important for both black and white children to grow up feeling empowered, and for black children not to be taught that their white schoolmates are racist, and for white students not to be made to feel like they should have to shoulder the guilt over things that have happened in the past, long before they were born, that everybody wants to teach. Nobody is saying you shouldn't teach our history. That has to That's such a lie. That people don't want to hear. They just you don't want the truth to be. Yeah, it is being taught in schools, and it should be taught in schools. But this idea, like she brought up, that white students are supposed to be felt like they're racist and that they're responsible for what happened bad in our history, and they weren't even born. They're learning about it in a classroom. That somehow this is anti-racist. Again, it is something that you can't tell us that is a positive to teach critical race theory in our schools. To claim that in order for us to be anti-racists, we have to teach our children to be racist? No, we're not going to do it. And that's why we will continue to show up at school board meetings. And the governor had something to say about that as well, that we do have to talk about. A bold move against the DOJ and the overreach of these threats. You better be careful if you show up at these school boards. Well, hold on a second. The governor might have something to say about that. We'll talk about that coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Time for another radio riddle. Know why they call liberals left? Because when they get their way with your taxes, you have nothing left. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
In business, setbacks change everything. Fast, reliable Comcast Business Internet can help keep you ahead. And now you can add Security Edge. It helps protect every device that's connected, so you can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. Security Edge requires Comcast Business Internet.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach with the most important radio ad I've ever recorded. My message is this. Taking back the White House is important, and regaining our majority in the U.S. House and Senate are critical. But the most important vote you will ever cast is for your local school board members. The Lee County School Board has been hijacked by progressive radicals. They get elected because in Florida, school board candidates are allowed to hide their party affiliation from voters. This is wrong, and I've filed a bill that will allow voters to know the party affiliation of every school board candidate on the ballot. Let's put an end to liberal Democrats sneaking into office in our conservative community. This is Spencer Roach, and my top priority is to send these radicals packing. I believe that parents, not government, know what's best for their children, and I will use all the powers of my office to defend your rights. Remember this, it's your school board and they work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
In the morning and at night, we're the station that gets it right. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right. All along.
$2 trillion. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That may be the new price tag for the Democrats' social spending plan. They keep negotiating down from $3.5 trillion.
We shouldn't even talk about the numbers because it's all paid for.
President Biden says tax hikes will fund it, though which taxes will rise still up for debate. Republicans oppose it all. The president's job approval rating down to 46%. In a new Fox News poll, only 39% think he's handling the economy well.
The issue on the top of registered voters' minds is inflation. 83% said grocery prices had increased for them to some degree.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The FDA's approved booster shots for the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Anyone who got a J&J dose can get another after 2 months.
For Moderna, the lag time is at least 6 months and has been approved for age 65 and older and 18 to 64 with high COVID health risk and who work in jobs with high exposure.
Fox's Gernal Scott, the CDC has to give final approval for those boosters, while the Biden administration also keeps sending shots overseas. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more on that live.
Dave, the U.S. has donated its 200 millionth COVID-19 shot in a campaign to help vaccinate the rest of the world. The donations include more than 120 million doses from the U.S. stockpile of shots, as well as the initial deliveries of 1 billion doses the Biden administration has bought from Pfizer for overseas donation by September of 2022. The U.S. is the largest vaccine donor in the world, and more than 100 countries and territories have received the donated doses. So far, about half the planet's been vaccinated, but massive disparities are still a problem, with the majority of global shots being administered in high and moderate income countries. Dave.
Sonia, in Britain, police have arrested a 25-year-old man for murdering a lawmaker stabbed in a church last week. He's also facing a terror charge. The FBI has found human remains near possessions belonging to Brian Laundrie in a park in Florida. He's a person of interest in fiancée Gabby Petito's death. America's listening to Fox News.
Big news
This Wink News update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News traffic.
Good morning. State Road 82 is backed up in both directions between Corkscrew Road and Gator Slough Lane. Heading towards State Road 29 especially, you're going to see some delays because of a crash with injuries. Apparently the roadway itself is clear, but a lot of onlooker delays as we've got deputies and troopers out there along with EMS treating those injuries. We also have a crash we're watching in North Naples at Vanderbilt Beach Road and Bay Laurel Boulevard. Delays heading through Davis Boulevard near Glen Eagle Boulevard because of a crash there in East Naples. Keeping an eye also on a crash heading through Alaska Avenue and Buckingham Road in the Buckingham area, getting cleared up right now, and a disabled vehicle at Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway in Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. Today, a day of transition from the drier weather pattern that we've had to what's eventually going to be more of a humid and unsettled weather pattern as we head into the remainder of the week and into the upcoming weekend. A high of 90 degrees for today as we start to feel that humidity increase a tad. A few showers will be possible late this afternoon and into this evening, mainly for Collier County and those areas south of the Caloosahatchee River. We keep it quieter as we head into tonight, certainly for your Friday morning with a low near 71 degrees waking up. 90 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning for the afternoon. Saturday featuring more isolated storms. Sunday a bit wetter with scattered thunderstorms back in the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Does 92.5 Fox News have a live stream? You bet. Go to rightallalong.net.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest-growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
When it's hot, the last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you cool and comfortable quickly. Call 855-1HOUR for $50 off your repair or visit onehourair.com and keep your cool. We're
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples.
The moment you fire up a Gator UTV, the engine has your full attention. The completed job is on the horizon, and the trail meets its match. Just like that, you made short work of a long to-do list. Run with us on a John Deere Gator UTV. With effortless four-wheel drive at the flip of a switch and our smoothest shifting transmission yet. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Gator for more.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. Thank you so much for watching the program and subscribing to the podcast. Lots to touch on, including I just heard Fox National talking about the fact that, hey, we got new numbers, everybody. $2 trillion. So it won't be 3.5 trillion, 5.5 trillion, 10 quadrillion. Doesn't really, what are numbers? It doesn't matter. It's paid for. Who cares? And now we hear $2 trillion. And yeah, it's there you go.
And the cost of the Build Back Better bill in terms of adding to the deficit is zero.
Oh.
Zero.
Oh.
Zero.
Oh.
Because we're going to pay for it all.
Yeah, we're going to pay for it all. What are you worried about? It's just fine. There is the president of the United States, Joe Biden, yesterday, who is convincing us that everything is fine. There's nothing to see here. Move along. There is zero cost. It's kind of like
zero.
It's like
zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
It's like Sunday. If I feel like we're going to be doing, it's one of those kind of things. And as Senator Kennedy from Louisiana said yesterday on Hannity's program.
I say this with respect, with all the respect I can muster. But my advice to the president is this. Mr. President, you've just got to try harder not to suck.
That's pretty much it. All right, so yesterday, the Build Back Better discussion from the president. He's trying to convince the American people, look, we've got this. We are all set. I'm telling you, it's not going to cost anything. And all kinds of laureates or people or people with degrees and stuff have said it's a way too.
By the way, they will not increase one single penny of the deficit.
Oh.
They are fully paid for.
Woo.
And all Wall Street points out they will grow employment by tens of thousands of people. Tens of thousands of people.
Really?
17 Nobel laureates spontaneously, Nobel laureates in economy.
Wait, 17 Nobel laureates spontaneously. I thought he was going to say combust after that, but no, it's okay. Yeah.
17 Nobel laureates spontaneously, Nobel laureates in economy.
Yeah, what did they say?
In the economy.
Yeah.
Sent me a letter 3 weeks ago saying we'll also reduce, not increase inflation.
Hey, I'm just asking, didn't Barack Obama once win a Nobel Prize? I'm just trying to figure out where the Nobel Prize and everything fits into why we care what they say. Yeah, that whole thing. But anyway, so of course, look, if you can find 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommending sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum, and there's one guy that's like, sugar, I need the business. Kids, eat all the candy you want. If we can't even get a consensus on teeth from dentists, I'm just asking, should we, do you think there's a possibility you could find a couple of people that might say, yeah, I'm not really feeling the whole idea that this is a bad thing. I think it might be a good thing, building back better. Okay. And then ultimately, you've got your morning cup of joe.
Sit back with your morning cup of joe.
Not a joke. Most of the 20th century, we led the world by a significant margin because we invested in our people. We invested in ourselves, not only in our roads and our highways and our bridges, but on our people and our families. We didn't just build an interstate highway system. We built a highway to the sky.
Ooh, we built a highway to the sky. Wasn't that a song a long time ago? Highway to the sky. Something like that. Or it might have been, well, it may not have been. But anyway, the point is that we're building highways to the sky. We're building back better with how much cost? Zero cost, I tell you.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
You should be selling ShamWows or something. But anyway, yeah. Look, but no problem. We're building back. We need to build back better, considering what's going on right now. We've got the supply chain crisis. We're short 80,000 truck drivers at the moment. The majority of Americans are saying that they are personally affected by this supply chain shortage. Toilet paper shortages are going to hit homes just like 2020. This kind of discussion is causing people to hoard. We're starting to hear about all kinds of things that are missing from shelves because people are worried, they're concerned. We may not have a Christmas. We've got all of the things that are happening with the numbers and the reality. I just paid $4 this morning for a gallon of gasoline here in Southwest Florida. I can't. Yeah, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit with that. The president's approval rating across 7 Senate battleground states at 41%. 58% of the American people say that Joe Biden is not mentally or physically capable of being president, and only 38% believe that he's actually in charge. Look, there's a lot to look at, and especially with the Build Back Better plan, recognize this. When we hear about the numbers going down to $2 trillion, we're going to make deals, zero down, ShamWows for everybody. When Senate Democrats are starting to freak out over Kristen Sinema, and they're worried because she's like, listen, I don't want to raise taxes. We just don't want to do it. But we'll change the numbers and we'll flip the numbers around to try to get Manchin and Sinema on board. Don't focus on the numbers. That's what they want you to do. You've got to focus on the things that are inside this bill. And there's plenty in the fine print. Going to all different kinds of places and all different kinds of entities and all different kinds of people, not to mention changes in how we conduct elections in this country, not to mention the Green New Deal and Bernie's...
this is what you do.
Bernie's doo-doo, because Bernie's pretty close to the one being in charge of all of this. Schools, I'm looking at this. School children reportedly rationing forks and spoons? What? This just popped up on my feed. Lunches for school children on Wednesday reportedly being impacted throughout the nation by the president's supply chain crisis, forcing children to conserve forks and spoons at schools? There was a report out of North Carolina where not only are they having issues with food, but they don't have forks and spoons either. It's almost as if the Build Back Better program is sort of like a plan that, man, if we put enough pressure on the American people and they really, honestly, truly feel it because it is in the control of this administration. Man, if you feel the gas prices and the supply chain shortage, which, of course, we have a lot of jobs that are out there that are not being filled and truck drivers that we don't have enough of. Because a lot of them are not getting on the road because of not only regulations and restrictions from the state of California, but also the fact that the United States government is competing against the free market by giving out all of the extensions and the federal dollars that are being put in people's pockets to not go to work. That it's almost as if all of this planned out is happening right before our eyes to say that, man, Building Back Better. Can you imagine? Just take a second and close your eyes, unless, of course, you're driving 10 and 2 and eyes open. Can you imagine a place where puppies run free, where people are happy, where gas prices are low and food is not in short supply? You might say at the time of Trump, but don't do that. Don't bring the former president into this. But that all of that would go away if you would just convince these senators to sign on the dotted line and let's build back better. And then all of this will go away. Wouldn't it be weird if a government-made destructive force against an economy and the people of a country were to magically disappear once you felt enough pain and twisted your arm to say, uncle, where you would have people sign off on this plan, and then all of a sudden, the supply chain issues go away, the prices on things start to go down, or at least you don't have to worry about all of that. The problem with that is that you've already put us in a position now where it's going to be a long time before any of this can come back to some sense of normal. I'm talking about the supply chain. You can't just snap a finger and then all of a sudden everything is off the docks and ships are off of the shores and product is moving the way we want it to again. It's not that easy. But boy, it's hard to not believe that this is all created. 239-479-5592. Jake, let's take a break. And when we come back, I did want to talk about this quickly because I just sort of mentioned it, but I want to get into it a little more. Yesterday, a couple of things the governor said. One of them is he wanted to make it known to Biden's Attorney General, Merrick Garland, that, hey, we have a response to what you've been saying, you know, the National School Boards Association and that letter that went to them urging the feds to get involved in investigating these domestic terrorist parents that show up at the schools. Well, the governor has something to say about that. We'll play the audio coming up next. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good morning. Off to a busy start along State Road 82. If you're heading between Lehigh Acres and State Road 29, we are backed up in both directions because of an injury crash. No actual roadblock, but we have EMS troopers and deputies on scene. So a little bit of a hefty backup starting to build up out there in both directions off Corkscrew Road on 82. Also keeping an eye on a crash heading through Radio Road just off Livingston Road near the Naples Airport, slowing down traffic westbound. Lee County Road's not looking too bad. Definitely seeing volume picking up on Daniels Parkway westbound heading out of Lehigh toward Fort Myers. We also have a crash at Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway. A little bit of roadblock getting off to the side of the road now. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. We'll start to see a bit of an uptick in humidity today. Temperatures climbing to 90 degrees for a daytime high, where we should see a few showers developing in mainly Collier County, south of the Caloosahatchee River, and even the chance to see some of those in southern Lee County today, though many of us will stay dry. A few passing clouds as we head into tonight as we dry things up. Friday morning off to another dry start with a low near 71 degrees. 94 tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning back to the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Need some inspiration? Don't look left. Look right. Here. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
When you want the very best for your home, there's only one name that stands alone. Hardware and glass in harmony. No frames, no mess. You'll love what you see. Quality, style, and huge selection. Give your bath the look of perfection. Wanna see more? Go to my shower door.
At Duncan's Diamonds, we are obsessed with finding you a diamond as unique as your love. As direct diamond importers, we traveled the world to find pieces of unbeatable value and quality. We have 30 times the selection of a typical jewelry store. From enchanting engagement rings to previously enjoyed Rolex timepieces, we have a special something for everyone.
Hi, I'm Stuart Duncan from Duncan's Diamonds. We have an unparalleled passion for bringing you the best in diamonds and jewelry. We are here to make the spectacular manageable with expert guidance, exceptional discounts, and unmatched financing programs.
With no middleman, we're able to offer prices 30 to 40% below the rest.
We will not be undersold by anyone, anytime, anywhere, and you can count on it. Come see us today.
Duncan's Diamonds. It's worth the drive to give the gift of a lifetime.
US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Naples at Mercado.
Hey, look, you don't have to go through the fall months with that joint pain. You can call QC Kinetics now. Regenerative solutions that are here, bringing lasting relief from joint pain with no downtime, no surgery, no steroids. It's Drew Steele talking about QC Kinetics. They use natural biologic therapies that restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, shoulders, hips, and back. Patients here are raving about the results. Don't think surgery is your only option. Call QC Kinetics now and learn more about these exciting natural alternatives. You've heard football legend Emmitt Smith talk about QC. It's time you see what it's all about. Fall is the time to enjoy life to its fullest, so why not act right now? Restorative, regenerative therapies, they're available now. And the office consultation is free. Call QC Kinetics, 239-893-PAIN. Non-surgical joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics, 239-893-PAIN. Non-surgical joint pain relief, 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN. 239-893-PAIN.
I'm Lois Tomey. As Wink fights to feed hungry families, we also focus on our culinary community. Wink Taste of the Town, good food for a good cause. Join us November 6th and 7th at Fort Myers Centennial Park for tasty treats and delicious drinks. We'll showcase the best of Lee County's local restaurants and businesses, benefiting Cameo of Lee County. Live music, a children's area, and a festive feast. Just go to tasteofthetown.net for more info. Wink Taste of the Town, a weekend of family fun, all in good taste.
No matter what it's like outside, Train makes it comfortable inside. You can get a great deal now on a new heating and cooling system at Train. Visit traininfo.com. Visit traininfo.com to find your local dealer and more, because it's hard to stop a train.
Minutes still matter when it comes to medical emergencies. In some cases, fast care can be life-saving, especially for heart attacks and strokes. So don't delay or be afraid to get help if you need it. Physicians Regional Healthcare System is safe and ready to care for you, with limited entry points, screening for everyone, deep cleaning, and social distancing. We're taking extra precautions to help keep you safe. Don't put off emergency care. Visit ercarephysiciansregional.com or call 911 in an emergency.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's, and we appreciate you watching and subscribing to the podcast. So subscribe, yeah. Just type in Drew Steele into your favorite search engine, and you'll find us and the show. So, how are you? How you doing, all you parents? I'm sorry, I shouldn't call you parents. I should call you domestic terrorists, right? Because that's what the teachers' unions and the National School Board Association feels that you are when you show up at school board meetings, because you care about your kids and you care about education, and you don't want critical race theory being taught in schools here in Southwest Florida, unless, of course, you are school board members who say you can't have a world-class school district unless you are teaching it, which, oh boy, you won't be there for long. But anyway, I digress. The Attorney General, Merrick Garland, issuing a response to the National School Board Association, and, the feds have to get involved. We got to find out about you domestic terrorists out there and some of the threats and the acts of malice that are going on against these school board members, and we're looking at you. And the governor had something to say about that. Remember, it was the Department of Justice memo directed the FBI in concert with each U.S. attorney to, quote, convene meetings with federal, state, and local officials within 30 days of the issuance of this memo in order to, quote, facilitate the discussion of strategies for addressing threats against school administrators, board members, teachers, and staff, and will open dedicated lines of communication for threat reporting, assessment, and response. Boy, that is a mouthful. And it's all against you as parents who, really, you got to calm down. Yeah, you feed your child, and you gave birth to your child, and they live in your house, and you're the one that buys them Christmas gifts and everything else. But it's the state that really is the one that has to be in charge of what they learn. It's just, especially even the pre-K stuff. Man, I'll tell you what, if we had universal pre-K paid for, where we can get those kids into indoctrination, and get them into schools, boy, that would be special too. Not a joke. Come on, give it to me.
Not a joke.
There you go, okay. Well, the governor had something to say about that, and he made it clear during an event yesterday, on a couple of different issues, that, we're not necessarily going to comply. Is that what he said?
At the state level, we are not going to be facilitating or participating in any of the things that were outlined in that memo, because it's just not appropriate to do that. And understand, people, they get it. When you sick the feds on somebody, you're bringing an 800-pound gorilla and you're just dropping it on somebody like a ton of bricks. And so even if you're just under the gun, even if you didn't do anything wrong, they have the potential to potentially ruin your life if they really want to do it. And of course, much of what they do now is charge people with process crimes. So they'll try to get you, find an inconsistent statement, and then they'll go and try to pursue that. And so we don't want to we don't want to go down that road at all in Florida.
We're not going down that road in Florida. So there you go, in fortifying the parents' Bill of Rights, because, they are your kids. I know there are some that would suggest that they're not. But there's the governor saying, we're not doing it. We're not going to be cooperating with the Justice Department against parents who are showing up at school board meetings. And I can't emphasize this enough because you've probably noticed it if you've been recently to a school board meeting, and it's this. It sure feels like they're trying to make you feel uncomfortable, does it not? They're trying to make you feel like, yeah, this is not your place to be. And as a matter of fact, we feel so threatened by you that, boy, we got to have wanding and we have to have officers and we got to double check and triple check you because why? Because you're dangerous? You're not dangerous. They want you to feel like there are dangers around you that they are aware of, but there are none. They just want to make you feel that way. Don't let them do it. Don't be intimidated. Don't let them intimidate you. And even to that degree, some of the things that we're going to talk about coming up about Lee County School Board members and investigations and calling for investigations of school board members and having the governor look into some school board members. And again, I can't tell you how many times since I've been on the air on this station for how many years now, for as long as you've been listening. And it just would be nice if we had years that we could look forward to with the Lee County School Board where we can talk about some good things. Give me some magical music, something. Yes, just some positive things. But no, we're constantly talking about all this ugliness and lawsuits and money spent and half-cent sales tax that we have to have. And, I'm just wondering where all the money is going. And all of these different issues and problems that have to be solved instead of talking about the positive things that are going on in the district. And it's just like a story it's never ending. It can end with your vote and your voice, and you have both.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Greetings from Health Plan Network. First, a sincere thank you to the folks at WFSX and their loyal listeners. The response to our recent individual health insurance ads have been phenomenal. Second, a short history lesson. When the federal government made their last attempt at socialized medicine or Obamacare, most insurance companies refused to participate, leaving millions with no choice but the high premiums and deductibles on the marketplace. On the other hand, our clients were able to keep their non-cancelable coverage and have enjoyed low premiums and great coverage for the last 7 years. The new administration has promised another run at their stated goal of nationalized health insurance. If you're on Obamacare, uninsured, or on COBRA, now is the time to act. Protect yourself and family with non-cancelable coverage guaranteed to age 65 now. Call me at 239-268-6712 or visit our website at healthplannetwork.net. That's 239-268-6712 or healthplannetwork.net. We can help.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, "What is that beautiful SUV?" I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, "How much does it cost?" I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and a fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines in rear and all-wheel drive, but that's not all. We have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com. I love my GV80 and you'll love it too.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months at $0 per month for 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The House votes today on recommending a criminal contempt charge for former White House aide Steve Bannon. He's refused to comply with a subpoena from the committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot.
Committee member, Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin.
People cannot obstruct justice in this way.
If the House passes the recommendation, it goes to the U.S. Attorney's Office, where they'll decide if Bannon should face prosecution. A lawyer for former President Trump has said Bannon's shielded by executive privilege. If he's found guilty, it could mean a year in jail.
Fox's Jill Nato. Booster shots of Moderna and Johnson & Johnson's coronavirus vaccines are now approved by the Food and Drug Administration.
The FDA said it is safe enough for patients to get a booster that is different than the brand of their original vaccination. The final decision before the boosters can be implemented has to come from the CDC.
Fox's Gernal Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News. Traffic.
Good morning. Off to a busy start along State Road 82. If you're heading between Lehigh Acres and State Road 29, we are backed up in both directions because of an injury crash. No actual roadblock, but we have EMS troopers and deputies on scene. So a little bit of a hefty backup starting to build up out there in both directions off Corkscrew Road on 82. Also keeping an eye on a crash heading through Radio Road just off Livingston Road near the Naples Airport, slowing down traffic westbound. Lee County Road's not looking too bad. Definitely seeing volume picking up on Daniels Parkway westbound heading out of Lehigh toward Fort Myers. We also have a crash at Metro Parkway and Daniels Parkway. A little bit of roadblock getting off to the side of the road now. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Thursday. Today, a day of transition from the drier weather pattern that we've had to what's eventually going to be more of a humid and unsettled weather pattern as we head into the remainder of the week and into the upcoming weekend. A high of 90 degrees for today as we start to feel that humidity increase a tad. A few showers will be possible late this afternoon and into this evening, mainly for Collier County and those areas south of the Caloosahatchee River. We keep it quieter as we head into tonight, certainly for your Friday morning with a low near 71 degrees waking up. 90 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow with some isolated rain and thunderstorms returning for the afternoon. Saturday featuring more isolated storms. Sunday a bit wetter with scattered thunderstorms back in the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
It's all right here at 92.5 Fox News. We've been right all along.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing a foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Welcome to Parent Teacher Night. Oh, yes, Miss Garner.
If you have one of those airline credit cards, you're probably not earning double miles on every purchase.
You're right. My card only gets extra miles on some types of purchases.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles everywhere.
Wait, but where can we use them?
You can use Capital One Venture Miles on any travel purchase.
Venture gets an A+.
Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. you're not alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Miami area attorneys. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Offices in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and by appointment only in Dadeland. CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit LDTlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano. LDTlaw.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. Back pain, neck pain, we hear so much about it every day, but most people never understand what causes it. Very often, it is more than just sore muscles. Many times, it is caused by disc and nerve compression in the spine. This is very often not addressed. The only way to get pressure off the discs in the spine is to decompress the discs. Here at Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, non-surgical spinal decompression is a specially designed, computerized table to provide gentle, precise pulling to draw pressure off the discs and release the nerves. This process draws blood back into the discs, allowing them to heal. Completely safe and comfortable for any age. No hanging upside down. Patients with stenosis sciatica, bulging discs, neuropathy, scoliosis all find great, long-lasting relief with decompression. Call my Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation. Johnson Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. So we appreciate you watching. Top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35. Number 5.
Hear me now? Not a joke. Amtrak became my family. Not a joke. He told me, and that's not a joke. The reason why we leapt ahead of the rest of the world. Not a joke. Best in the world. Not a joke. Renewable energy. Not a joke. And Marine One. Not a joke. Keep things moving. Not a joke. That's who we are as Americans. Not a joke. Literally higher. Not a joke. Not a joke. Not a joke. Not a joke. And I come from the corporate state of the world. Not a joke.
That was just yesterday. All of those not a jokes were just from yesterday when he was talking about the Build Back Better plan in Pennsylvania. Seriously. It's not a joke.
Number 4.
We like jokes. We like jokes.
There you go. We want jokes. There was a counter-protest yesterday. You may have heard that there was a big a couple of dozen people walked out of Netflix because they're upset about Dave Chappelle because, you know, comedy. Can't have that, and you're not allowed to have Comedy's Dead. And Dave Chappelle has this special called The Closer, and, of course, with the head of Netflix, who was like, man, we got to have Dave Chappelle. Come on now. We got to keep him around because that's what we do around here at Netflix. And then realizing what he said, he's like, oh, well, maybe I may have misspoke. I shouldn't have talked about it that way. I mean, maybe we do have problems with Dave Chappelle. And then some transgender individuals decided to walk off the job. And there's a couple of dozen people who protest. There's like 9,000 people that work at Netflix, just to give you an idea. But there's a little counter-protest with... there are people saying jokes are funny and saying we like jokes, and well, you know how it goes.
Hear me now? Not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Number 3.
One of the worries that I have about the way that we're talking about race is that it either seems so big that somehow white people now have to feel guilty for everything that happened in the past. I don't think that's very productive. Or black people have to feel disempowered by race. I would like black kids to be completely empowered, to know that they are beautiful in their blackness. But in order to do that, I don't have to make white kids feel bad for being white.
Whoa, Oh, that was Condoleezza Rice on The View, and The View was not really too happy about those comments and talking about critical race theory being taught in our schools, and let's not teach our kids to be racist. Hey, could we not do that? Is that possible? That's pretty much what she's saying, right?
Number 2.
I say this with respect, with all the respect I can muster. But my advice to the president is this. Mr. President, you've just got to try harder not to suck.
That's on Hannity's program yesterday. And Senator Kennedy of Louisiana is talking about this Build Back Better program. And, of course, the crisis that is happening all across the country that we see with inflation and jobs and the border and everything else. And he's just putting it that way. Listen, all you have to do is teach people not to, well, he said it, you know.
Number 1.
I want you guys to step back for a moment from what you hear sort of constantly on TV. And just very briefly, in terms of the data that supports mask use in kids and mandates for masks in kids, it is very weak, and that's a fact. But there's a substantial gap between the quality of the data out there supporting masks in kids, yielding any benefit for kids whatsoever, factual, and what we're hearing from some of our public health leadership in other states and nationally.
That is the Surgeon General of the state of Florida who's talking about mask mandates. And listen, all the evidence is out there that mask mandates do not work in schools. They just do not work. Now, why would he say something like that along with the governor of the state of Florida yesterday?
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
What would lead him to have to say something like that? Well, that is on the heels of the CDC director, Walensky, who made this announcement yesterday. This after hearing about 5 to 11-year-olds who are about to get the jab, 28 million kids out there getting ready to get the jab. Well, I mean, if you're going to, I was going to say if you desire to have them have the jab, but you know how things work with mandates and the like, and the CDC director says.
We also know that from previous data that schools that have had masks in place were 3.5 times less likely to have school outbreaks requiring school closure.
Oh, really? So where did she get that information from? Because the governor seems to think that that's not the right information, and I'll get to that in just a second. But then she says.
So right now we are going to continue to recommend masks in all schools for all people in those schools. And we will look forward to scaling up pediatric vaccination during this period of time.
There you go. They're going to scale up the pediatric vaccination, and they want everybody being masked, the kids to be masked. So, they're getting the jab and they're getting masked up. And where's the science to suggest that should be happening? The Florida Surgeon General says there's no evidence. The governor is saying it's faulty evidence at best.
It's interesting. The U.S. Secretary of Education, he did like some tweet thread. It was like a month ago, and he's like, follow the data on the mask. And he cited a few studies. He cited one study from North Carolina, which said forced masking of kids worked, but it had no control group because that was required in every school. So they just said it worked without comparing it against what if you didn't do that, and people pointed that out immediately. Then he cited a study from the university, or from Wisconsin about it. And the researcher who did the study immediately responded to the tweet and said, we found no conclusive evidence on the forced masking, and basically said that you should not use my study to do that.
Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. Somebody is telling the truth. Something is wrong here when the CDC director is saying, it's 3 times better when you're masking up the kids in school. And the governor's like, wait a minute. I don't think that evidence is correct. And where you're getting that from, and he describes some of the studies that are out there where they're coming up with these ideas that mandates work, and they don't. But again, why are we doing this? That is the big question when it comes to our kids. I mean, are you prepared to do this? 239-479-5592. Maybe you are. The White House is detailing plans to quickly vaccinate 28 million children aged 5 to 11, pending authorization from the FDA. And we know the jab doesn't prevent transmission, but we have to have our kids get the shot. When we also know the evidence, the science, the data that we're supposed to be following that is out the window, where we know that less than 500 kids have died from COVID or with COVID since the pandemic started. A grand total of 10 to 20 children without significant pre-existing conditions have died of COVID in the U.S. since the entire course of the pandemic. Ben Shapiro had that tweet out talking about the specifics of what we know about the evidence, how the vid affects kids. And then the questions about why we're mandating vaccines. You make the choice with your doctor. You decide whether or not it's right for you and your family. But this idea that we're going to now vaccinate our kids and then soon to be mandating vaccinating kids, as they're doing in schools in California, which, listen, if you know anything about the country, and when American Marxists, communists, socialists, Democrats are in charge, you know that if it's happening in California, it's coming to a district near you, thanks teachers' unions. And so, is it your choice or is it their choice? And where's the evidence to show that we should be doing that? 239-479-5592. So that's out there. We come to find out this morning that the former president of the United States is getting ready to start his own social media universe, a platform called Truth Social that's going to be launching. He plans to officially launch that in the spring of 22. Are you ready for this? Are you going to be signing up for it? Truth Social is where they stand up to the tyranny of big tech. Trump said in a statement, and it said, here's the statement. You ready? Quote, "We live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter." He's right. "Yet your favorite American president has been silenced. This is unacceptable. I'm excited to send out my first truth on Truth Social very soon." See how he did that? So they want to give a voice to everybody. They're going to have this out there. We'll see how it goes, how many people sign up for it. People have been wondering where he's going to end up, where he's going to land. And you knew this was going to happen, right? You knew that he was going to have his own social media platform. A very important thing when you consider that we don't have a choice. It's the world we live in. It's the universe that is surrounding us. We don't have a choice. There needs to be a parallel economy. There needs to be people that are stepping into the space and creating banks and creating social media platforms and creating places that you can go to shop, different things in this parallel economy where you're going to be safe and away from the tyranny of the left in this country, away from those that are in control in the White House and in the Senate and in the House of Representatives and in the media and in Hollywood and in music. We've got to have a parallel economy moving. Some people don't like that's happening. Some people don't like the fact that Donald Trump is even out there saying anything at all. Like anything he says has to be dismissed. Why would you say that? Well, January 6th, of course. I mean, everybody's seen the videos of the insurrection on the Capitol January 6th, the videos of Capitol Police allowing people to walk through the doors there of the Capitol, making their way into the rotunda, staying within the rope line in the middle of the rotunda, politely walking through there. You know, that's what insurrectionists do. You know, I thought they bust through the doors, Capitol Police trying to hold them back, violence ensues, guns blazing, all kinds of issues like that you could see on the video until you find out that you can't. Questions about that. People still have questions about the integrity of elections. Why are we not allowed to talk about that? Why? Because I hear way too many people saying we got to stop. Got to stop. Got to get away from this. I sound like Joe Biden. Got to get away. Got to get away from it. No joke. Yeah, I'm not really good at that, but can't talk about it. We got to step away from these audits, the idea of audits and talking about election integrity and really pinpointing exactly what happened in 2020 so it doesn't repeat itself, even though we're getting ready for an election in Virginia. We're getting ready for an election in 22 where we would like to know that that's not going to repeat itself, because any way that could happen has stopped because we know what it is and we've put a stop to it. The suggestion that we can't walk and chew gum at the same time, like we can't focus on all the bad things that Democrats are doing. We can't focus on the things that have to do with inflation and the border and the disgrace that is the Build Back Better plan and how they want to destroy fundamentally this country, the left here in this country. Like, we can't do that and ask for answers on election integrity at the same time. That's impossible. Really, is it? Liz Cheney, yesterday, at this January 6th commission hearing, who wanted to let everybody know how evil Donald Trump is, files a lawsuit to block the release of documents from his administration to Pelosi's select congressional committee investigating the January 6th breach at the Capitol. Executive privilege of a former president is the claim that he's using. Liz Cheney's having no part of it.
Mr. Bannon's and Mr. Trump's privilege arguments do, however, appear to reveal one thing. They suggest that President Trump was personally involved in the planning and execution of January 6th.
Guilty! That's my gavel sound effect. Guilty as charged. And then you have to have that really weird kind of British old American accent. Guilty as charged. It's almost like that was a weird sort of Ted Kennedy kind of voice too. Anyway, so there's Liz Cheney. Listen, if he doesn't want to say anything, then that means he's guilty, right? No, not necessarily. And then yesterday, Matt Gaetz and who was it? Representative Raskin, Democrat, going toe-to-toe, where Raskin is spending 4 minutes with every kind of hyperbole and twisting of the facts and kind of set up against the former president to make it seem like he's guilty, just like Liz Cheney just did. If he doesn't say anything, that means he's guilty. And then Matt Gaetz saying,
he's got to come before.
Well, this is Raskin saying, listen, they've got to come before us. They can't just be there and be silent. You've got to say something. You've got to come here. You can't hide behind executive privilege.
He's got to come before the committee, and he has to plead it. Do you not agree with that?
No, I think that...
No, honestly, do you not agree with that?
Mr. Raskin, I allowed you to speak, and I didn't interrupt you. I hope I'm given the same opportunity.
Just give me the honest answer.
The honest answer is that the McGahn litigation that you and I both followed closely as members of the Judiciary Committee actually is the path forward. McGahn didn't have to show up to assert that he was waiting for legal...
The president asserted executive privilege on his behalf.
Now you're the one giving challenges to the stenographer. So,
no, I'm telling you, wait a second. I'm going to elaborate on your answer here.
But I haven't even given my full answer yet.
That's not how it works in the Rules Committee, Mr. Gaetz. Just follow this then.
Well, wait
the president...
Do I get to respond to these?
Mr. Gaetz, I'm going to give you the chance to respond.
Well,
respond to
this. Like
President Trump asserted executive privilege. President Trump asserted executive privilege for McGahn. President Biden has not asserted.
I believe there is.
Has not asserted executive privilege.
President Trump has initiated litigation. Look, the reason you all waited on McGahn is because the Russia hoax wasn't going well for you. And the reason you're not waiting now is because you have no other legislation or other solutions for the country.
All right,
that's why
Mr. Jordan, let me switch
you
to you.
had the McGahn playbook, but you've ditched it because you guys need January 6th so bad.
Woo! Yeah. It's a circus. It's a circus with everything except the music. That's all you need. Oh. Well, now we have the music. So there it is. Okay, the January 6th Commission circus continues. 239-479-5590. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. And other things, including Lee County School Board issues. We'll get to that. A lot of people wanted to talk about that, so we'll bring in some guests to have that conversation with you tomorrow. And Glenn Beck is next, so I hope you have a fantastic day. And let's find out what's going on right now with the remainder of the forecast for today with Wink News meteorologist